Welcome to the 224 Podcast. Powerful.
I am a revolutionary.
Provocative.
We want freedom by any means necessary.
Inspiring.
Here we go.
And now, your hosts, Tyson and Jay.
What's up, world? What's up, world?
Man.
Welcome to the revolution, ladies and gentlemen.
Man.
What's happening, world? What's going on?
Today episode, man. Yo,
Yes.
First, listen.
Yes. Welcome to
The rain
Four.
has begun, and the rain
Indeed.
won't end, even if the thunder and rain begins.
That's right. Let's go.
This is the
That's right.
motherfucking
To say the
224
rain won't
podcast.
stop, even if the
Listen.
thunder does. Let's do this.
This is what I'm telling y'all.
Let's do this.
You
ladies and
understand
gentlemen.
what I said
Huh?
to y'all? It was listen.
Hear me now.
Listen.
Ear.
Today's episode.
Hear me now.
I'm just gonna put it right now.
Yeah.
Fuck all that. This is Jay. This is Tyson. Fuck shit. No.
Oh, go
We're just
Jesus.
gonna jump straight into
He's
it.
serious today,
You know what
huh?
I mean? It's
He's
a
on it, y'all.
trigger
He is on a
warning
Yes.
for this episode. If you, especially with everything, with the quick hits,
If you're
with the
triggered,
main topic,
if you
listen to what
are
I'm saying
triggered,
to you niggas,
please,
right now.
what Snaggle puts, tell him exit stage right even.
Listen,
He got to exit.
we're
Hit it.
having a conversation.
Cut off the radio.
Okay,
Turn down
we're
the
having
dial.
a conversation.
We're creating the dialogue
use
for you
your
today.
big boy brain.
Yes, and
Use
put on your
big
boy
girl brain.
and put on your big girl panties.
Put on your
okay?
big girl panties.
Put on your big boy drawers.
Put on your big boy drawers.
This is a conversation to be had,
We're
ladies and
not
gentlemen.
here
A
to
conversation to be had.
Respect. Totally. Okay.
Wait, what they say? We're gonna disrespect respectfully. That's it. That's all we're gonna do.
21.
21.
So we're not
gonna
here
disrespect respectfully.
to
please.
disrespect anyone,
No.
their beliefs,
No.
their stance, their
No.
morals,
No.
none of that
No.
shit.
But
We're
we're-
simply talking about shit
Yep.
from our perspective.
Correct.
So before we get into anything,
That's it. You have
this
is the disclaimer.
trigger warning.
This is the trigger warning. The
You
disclaimer.
have been warned.
You have been.
Everything from here
Yep. You are
is
consenting.
your fault.
You are consenting to listen to.
This is my
So,
motherfucking
let's
platform.
talk about it, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
talk about whatever the fuck I want to on my platform.
And what we do
So
is
this
talk
is
about
what
this
we're going to
conversation.
talk about. Okay, today. All right. So, little bro, go ahead and start off with some of these Black history facts.
Let's go. All right. So listen, for those out there, ladies and gentlemen, today in Black history, okay, which is June 10th, 2021. On June 10th, Marcus Garvey, right? Activist Marcus Garvey, he passed away. He was the black activist of the Pan-African movement, excuse me. And he was the first one to coin the phrase do for self. He was about African Americans, or the Negroes as he referenced them into America, breaking away from the powers that be, the structure, and doing for ourselves in our own community. So big ups to Marcus Garvey. He passed away today in the year 1940. So he died some time ago. But
How old was he when he passed away?
I didn't actually look that up. That was my fault.
Yep.
That was my
All right,
fault.
keep going,
I just
nigga.
like
Keep
that.
going.
Keep it nice and quick.
Not too quick. I want to. I challenge motherfuckers.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Go ahead, bro.
But shout out to Marcus Garvey, man. He started the movements that everybody comes to know today.
You saying shout out to Marcus Garvey? The nigga here. Rest in power to Marcus Garvey.
I still can be. It's a posthumous shout out, right?
All right,
I'm just saying. All right.
I got you, bro.
And then also, man, today in Black history, Hattie McDaniel. And if you're not familiar with who Hattie McDaniel is the first African American to ever win an Oscar for Best Supporting Role. She played
Best Supporting Actress.
Excuse me.
In a supporting role.
In a supporting role. She played Mammy in Gone with the Wind.
That's what's up.
Yeah. And she was born today in Wichita, Kansas in 1895. God damn.
She was born 30 years after niggas was
Freed.
Well, some was free before.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
But this is when you if you own slaves, like you absolutely had to free niggas at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
In 1865.
Yeah.
At that point, you absolutely had to free niggas.
That's a strong segue into happy. It's going to be all month long. We're celebrating Happy Juneteenth. Juneteenth is this month.
You know what? No, see, that's the problem. You can't celebrate Juneteenth for the whole month. Because it's motherfucking gay pride month, and they don't like shit like that.
Okay. So we can't share holidays.
Celebrate. No, we cannot.
No,
we
won't let you share holidays in America.
They won't let you do that.
All right. Okay. You know what? Look, Juneteenth. I guess on the 19th or the 18th and the 19th is the 18th. It's a 2-day event, right?
Yeah, it's 2 days.
It's like the 18th and the 19th. I guess we'll celebrate Juneteenth then. But those are my quick Black history facts for today.
Well, I have enough intelligence to separate, or not separate, but be able to celebrate both of those things at the same time and still be able to separate what's good about those two things.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, niggas on Twitter, niggas on Instagram, niggas on social media.
I think we can share, though.
You can't, nope. Can
we not share? We can't
Niggas
share?
selfish. Niggas are selfish.
So basically, the only cause that matters is the cause that you're bringing attention to right now in this particular month.
Absolutely right.
That doesn't make sense though. So that means that means in October, when it's Titty Cancer Month, I don't have to think about titties for the rest of the year.
Nope, it don't have to make sense. I think about titties 24/7. 365,
Titties
366
on the mind.
on a leap year.
Yeah.
And if you say it like that, they gonna be like, oh, look at you, man. You a misogynist pig. That's all you think about. No, I'm saying breasts, they give life.
That's
they
right.
support life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
So
they
we should think about them at all times.
Are very, very pleasurable to use and play with and lick and suck on. You know what I'm saying?
Like a nice.
And again, I told you, motherfuckers.
This shit is already off the rails.
I told you, motherfuckers. It's your you still here. It's your fault.
This shit is already off the rails.
I'm not gonna stop. Who the fuck it is? I don't care if it's one nigga listening. It's your fault, one nigga. So
this shit already off the rails.
It is what it is, man.
Anyway,
let's
move forward.
That's what going. So straight segue into the next motherfucking thing.
Yeah.
Because everybody caring about what the fuck they want to do, and regardless if the shit makes sense or not, let's go into our quick hit.
Yeah, the
quick hit topic today.
Hit. Yeah,
Emilia Clarke, most known for her role as Daenerys Targaryen on the hit TV show Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones
is coming out with the comic book. Winter is coming. I guess the Mad Queen is not. Like,
not a title. So it's not a fictional title anymore.
Fictional title.
Yeah.
It's not, you know what I'm saying, relegated to her show on to her character on Game of Thrones. It's not, you know what I'm saying, just Daenerys Targaryen. It's actually fucking Emilia Clarke. Yeah. Because the Mad Queen has come out with a new comic book, y'all. It's coming out with one.
Let's talk about it.
And the comic book's title is MOM. The acronym stands for Mothers of Madness.
Okay.
Now, the title character, the main character, is a scientist by day.
Secret identity
and an
there.
over-the-top superhero by night. And her main power...
let's talk about this.
...is her period. I did not misspeak. I am not quoting.
Wait, what?
I'm quoting. But I'm not misspeaking. I'm not fucking up the quote. I am not... fucking anything up. Her main power.
Say that one more time.
Her secret power is her period.
What?
That you heard me right, goddammit.
What the?
Her main power is her period.
Nasty bitch.
That's her main power.
What the hell?
Her main power is her period.
Tell me you did not just say that.
Tell me you didn't just say that.
I said that, Booker. I said that shit.
Wait a minute.
That lady.
So nature is now her natural superpower.
Her period.
So what does she do? Does she splash people with blood? How does this work?
I don't think they gave that much information. I don't know how her power actually works. If it's,
that's weird. What? Is it? Wait, hold on. Is it a graphic novel? It's like Dark. It's like Dark Horse doing it.
It's Image Comics.
Okay, all right. Okay,
and I fuck with Image Comics. You know what I'm saying? Image Comics with Savage Dragon.
Yes. Yes.
Wildcats.
Yes.
Guess what? Ready?
Yeah.
So all because the younger niggas be like, what the fuck is all that shit?
Yeah.
Invincible.
I was getting ready to say that.
It's Image Comics.
Image Comics does Invincible, and Invincible is.
That
by far, literally one of the best comic book cartoons.
But the young niggas think like Invincible just came out.
Wildcat used to be my shit back in the day.
Invincible.
Wildcat.
The comic run of Invincible started in 2003. Just so niggas can have that context.
Yeah, because it's not new.
It's a 20-year-old comic.
Yeah, but I'm glad it got the adaptation it got on Amazon because I watch it faithfully. It's awesome.
Emilia Clarke is like, yes, this is one, and she said. Listen, she said, when I first started going to Comic-Con is when Game of Thrones was happening, right? Obviously, they go to Comic-Con because Game of Thrones is, you know what I'm saying, fantasy, right?
Gotcha.
So she's like, I went there and, so mostly men, right? And then in this world, I got, my mindset even started to get changed because Comic-Con is mostly men. right? And so
34-year-old men who live in their mama's basement that eat Cheetos and got terrible acne.
That's beside the fucking fact. That's like it's like, all right, I'm gonna keep going because I'll go back to that. So she said at this point, right? She was like, I wanted to change the narrative. I wanted to change the space. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Interject some of
which is a goodwill. That's a goodwill. Yeah, that's a goodwill.
That's fine.
That's goodwill.
That's fine. Ain't nobody got any issue with that.
No, that's not at all.
If you want to put your spin on shit, if you want to put your sauce in it, if like Kwame said, some of your mama's cooking,
drop it in there, baby.
Some shit,
drop it on in there.
Hey, put some of Miss Clark's cooking in that motherfucker. Yeah, whatever your mother's last name is, I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying? She could have been something.
Is she married or not?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. It
could have been something else.
Put some of mama's cooking.
Put some of mama's cooking in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm fine with that. She says after that, she got an all-female motherfucking staff.
Okay.
All female staff. You know what I'm saying? This comic book is obviously about females.
Yeah.
And this is what we want. And so if you and it says in the description of the shit that the comic book it's a 3-part miniseries. It's like mature readers only. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's like mature readers, like as in only adults can read this shit, or like only mature motherfuckers in the brain can read this shit because whatever, trolls and shit, right?
Yeah, maturity is not an age; it's a mindset,
right? But. So let's start off with this. Let's just break this down real quick, okay? First things first, okay? You went to Comic-Con, ma'am. Do you not know that their demo?
Yeah, that was out of touch. That was an out of touch moment for her.
That was out of touch.
Yeah, that's an out of touch moment.
That's like if I went to a fucking Mumford and Sons concert. And then I went there and
they got some hits now.
And I was trying to sell merchandise to a Run DMC concert.
At a Mumford and Sons concert.
At a Mumford and Sons concert. I don't understand the target demo.
You sure don't.
Better example is
sure don't.
If I go, if I go to a convention of pedophiles and bring a fucking 35-year-old woman there, I don't understand the demo. I don't understand the audience.
That's definitely a starker, analogy right there.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, bro.
That was definitely a starker.
You know what I'm saying?
Because she ain't gonna get touched.
No, she's not at all. Not at all. She has nothing to worry about in that audience.
You could probably bring her there naked and she probably still won't get touched.
Listen, that's who Comic-Con, that's their target demographic, because most people who read comic books are males.
Yeah.
That's not, again, it's fact. That's not some shit that's like, oh, women can't read comics. That's the first thing they hear. When you say shit like that, in their heads, they'll hear, oh, so a woman can't read a comic book?
Or they'll say, there's more of us that read comic books than you think. You're right. But the truth of it is that the majority of this population that read comic books happen to be male. And we're not saying that that's not capable, but you're not saying that.
That's the problem, bro.
We're not saying that you're not capable.
They'll take what you're saying and then twist that shit up to spin this narrative. Did I come out my fucking cheeks and tell you that women can't read comic books, or no woman reads comic books, or women aren't allowed to read comic books, and none of that shit, simply by stating most people who read comic books are men. And most is 49-51 ratio. 51. Right. All you gotta do is have that extra one. That's most. The 51 is most.
It's called majority. And
it's called majority. That's it.
If you don't know anything about that, you might want to look into that.
If comic books have, and comic books might be somewhere 60-40, 65-35 now.
Yeah, it's really spreading.
It's really spreading. But especially the majority of those motherfuckers are men. That's just it's a fact, bro. Yep. I'm sorry. Again, if it could be anything, bro. Like, if in the makeup world, the target demo is fucking women.
That's right. That's right.
You got James Charles and that nasty pedophile motherfucker, and then you got what's the other dude?
You know what? Just simply, I've never heard of makeup made for men. I've never seen a commercial that's makeup made for men.
Because I'm not the target demographic.
But you see Maybelline, you see CoverGirl, you see all kind of stuff on TV. I've never seen a makeup.
So when you go to a makeup convention,
it's mostly
the majority of people who are going to be there are women.
Because that's the target audience.
I'm not mad at that.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care.
No, not at all.
I do not give a fuck. No. Because my brain doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And that's just narrative. And most people's brains don't work that way. Mm-hmm. I want that to be clear too, because motherfuckers will be like, well, women's brains work that way. No, they don't. Most women's brains do not work that way. It just be you motherfuckers on Twitter with those blue check marks who think because I got an audience, I can just tell my audience anything I want them to know or want them to feel, and they're just going to go ahead and go with that. Like that's, you know what I'm saying? That's what that is. Mm-hmm. Second thing is like, she got an all-female staff. I don't know what you think, or what the structure of comic books are, or how they're made, like the companies that make them. Yeah. But there's females that, you know,
draw comics, do great comics, work.
Who draw, who sketch, who ink, who color, like in every fucking aspect or every position of comic books, there's women there.
Yeah, like what is it? The creative director for Marvel, a woman. The creative director for Marvel is a woman. The lead, I forgot what her name was. I just watched the other day because I was watching the extras on the Mandalorian. She is the head production designer for Disney. She's a woman as well. So they were around the table with Jon Favreau having this conversation. They're in high positions.
So there's women all up and down the corporate structure when it comes to creating comics and writing comic books.
Absolutely.
Everything that goes with that. Mm-hmm. So the fact that you said every single employee on your fucking staff is female, doesn't that optically, I'm not calling you this.
No.
I'm just saying optically, doesn't that look sexist?
Well, what I think is, I'm not even going to go that far. What I think it does is I think it limits the creativity of your comic book, because perspective is very important, especially when you're trying to tell a story and tell comics, right? You can't, a one-sided comic book is not as enthralling as something that grabs you from both sides.
I can tell you what a motherfucker going to say. Yeah. I can tell you what a motherfucker going to say to respond to that without even knowing them or knowing what the fuck they would say. You ready?
Yeah.
Well, what perspective can a man bring to a woman's perspective? Like what can you bring? What perspective can you bring to this? Seeing that it's a comic book about a female superhero.
Aren't we living? Don't we live close to you? Don't we interact with women? And don't we?
My mother is a woman. I'm here.
Sisters, aunts, grandmothers, mom. That doesn't make any sense.
The literal fact that I exist
means that I have a relationship with women.
I came from a woman.
That's weird. Okay.
Even if you like, well, some people were born in a test tube. You need a sperm cell
and a woman's
egg, the ova, to create a human being.
It just
regardless if that shit happened in a laboratory or behind a Wendy's. Doesn't fucking matter.
You better not get pregnant behind a Wendy's.
Doesn't matter.
You out there getting that biggie bag, huh?
In a test tube or a Tesla. Doesn't matter.
You get some off the value menu.
Yes. I got some value for you.
Ooh, you a whole snack out here.
You a whole snack out this motherfucker.
Not behind a Wendy's.
Like, it doesn't matter. I come from a woman. I had women in my life that helped me during my maturation process, during my adolescence.
That's right.
During my teenage years. Yeah. All that shit. My grandmother is one of the few people in my life that I would break down and cry if she was gone. Boo-hoo cry, don't bother me. I'm in bed for the next 48 to 72 hours. I learned a lot from that woman. Mm-hmm. You mean to tell me I don't have a perspective on maybe how she thinks and
or what women? Not to mention you got 5 women in your life right now.
So that's men don't have any perspective.
No.
Here's the problem though.
Yeah.
If I excluded you, if I did the same thing, if I made a comic book about a man and had an entire staff of nothing but men, that's sexist. I would be. Listen, that's not. And then, but he's not. Yeah. He's not being inclusive. See, that's that shit.
Yeah, that's that double standard coming out, baby. It's that double standard.
I don't like double standards.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. I understand that they exist. I'm not fucking retarded.
Nobody is, but we're not saying that they don't either.
Right. I'm not saying that. There's some that don't on a surface level make sense. But what I'm saying is, shouldn't we as a society try to move away from the double standards? Because if that's what you're saying you're trying to do, right? In this sense,
trying to stop
then
that.
What you're doing, if I'm trying to make sense of this shit, is that you're using a double standard to move away from a double standard so that there is no more double standards. That shit doesn't make sense to me.
The tactics of your oppressor cannot be the tactics of your solution.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
You cannot
do
free the oppressed using the tactics of the oppressor.
Can't do it.
It doesn't make sense because then you become the oppressor.
Damn. Wait, hold on. Message. Message. That was deep. That was you gotta get your mind right.
You cannot do shit like this. One nigga wouldn't have had a perspective. No male has any fucking like real perspective that would be helpful to your comic book. That to me, that sounds
like even a gay man would have worked.
No, gay man don't want no. He don't care about pussy.
No, he don't care about. Nah, I'm talking about a woman's perspective. He don't care about no pussy. Of course he doesn't. He's gay.
Gay dudes don't care about women's perspective, bro. Gay dudes don't give a fuck about women's perspective.
Nah, he don't want no pussy.
He don't give a fuck about that.
I hate you so much right now.
Get that out of here.
I hate you so much right now.
No, they're ignorant.
No, that's not it.
All right, so listen. So what's the basis of her comic? What's the comic going to entail? Is it just about her menstruation? Like,
no, obviously she got to be doing something like fighting crime and shit. It has to be.
Menstruation. That's her sidekick's name is Menstruation, and it's going to be a headline like in the 40s. Menstruation saves the nation. It's going to be awesome.
I don't know what the fuck it is.
I'm interested in looking into it.
I would think it'd be something like this is me just going off of what the character sounds like now. It would be this character probably goes around town.
She like an ultra feminist,
saves women. You know what I'm saying? From obviously ultra aggressive, ultra violent, ultra egotistical, ultra maniacal, ultra masochistic, ultra you know what I'm saying, male type motherfucking dudes. Like that's. You know what I'm saying?
Patriarchal tyranny.
These quote unquote alphas.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she probably, digs deeper and it's some kind of scheme that the patriarchy is unleashing upon the community to, further subjugate the community, specifically the females in that community. If that's what if we're going off of what's already been said.
You got all that from that one page?
I'm almost positive. I'm just saying.
I was just saying, damn, you broke that down.
No, that's not. I'm just saying that's probably where it's going. And it's like, okay, I get it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I got
the hero, because we can't say heroine, because then it's like, oh no, you're mixing. You know what I'm saying? Because on a female, you say heroine, but if it's anything else, is a hero. No, I want to be a hero. Okay, whatever. Fuck it. You're a hero.
But isn't heroine the female?
No, you can't do that.
Okay.
Not today. It's not Latina or Latino no more. It's Latinx now.
Latin. Excuse me?
It's Latinx now.
Latinx?
Yeah, you don't say Latina or Latino. You say Latinx.
What the hell?
It's all encompassing.
What?
Yep.
Because I've never heard that before. This is my first time hearing that.
Because it's too exclusive when you do Latina or Latino. It's your,
What does the X stand for?
Anything. What you all encompassing. So it could So it could be man, woman, someone who doesn't identify as either.
Latinx. We turning this shit into an equation now? Do we have to find X too?
Yeah, you gotta find X.
That shit is for real. It's called Latinx. You're not kidding me. Seriously?
Bro, I don't know how the fuck did you not know that?
I don't know how I didn't know that, but Latinx, bro. I call them Latinos. Latina. It doesn't matter.
Bro, if you run across the right motherfucker, they're gonna be like, "Ooh, you don't call me that. That's ignorant."
No, they're ignorant.
That's ignorant.
Ignorant.
That's what that is.
Ignorant.
That's ignorant.
Okay,
it's ignorance that you're showing right now.
I'm being enlightened, I guess.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Oof. Latinx, don't listen. I'm trying to save your fucking life right now.
Jesus,
don't you dare go outside and call a Latino. A Latinx woman a Latina.
Latinx?
Don't you dare fucking say it. You will garner the wrath of white women.
Oh,
not the Latinx woman.
Yeah,
but the white woman.
Jesus,
you will guard. You don't want that.
Latinx, really?
Latinx.
That's wild.
It's encompassing of everybody.
That's wild.
Put everybody together.
That's wild. Okay, all right. We're gonna be Black X, Negro X.
Yep, nigga X,
Negro and Black X,
nigga X.
Black. In fact, because we're trying to divide race so much in this country. After a while, it's going to when you fill out applications and your driver's license, it's just gonna say human. It ain't gonna say nothing else. It's gonna say human. It's gonna be.
It might not even say that because niggas identify as not human.
Jesus, it's just gonna say life form.
That's real shit.
It's gonna say life form.
Life form.
LF. You go check
life
the
form
box.
X.
LFX. Just type this life form.
Well, I'm not human per se.
I like to consider myself as a trans-dimensional being.
My mind is elevated outside of the realms of human existence because humans are very fickle. They're not up there with the rest of space matter.
Do you breathe?
I breathe, but the air, quote unquote, that I breathe is not for me to sustain my life. What it is giving my brain enough power to function above societal norms as it is today.
You sound like you're stupid high right now.
Yeah, because you
sound high. Can you get out of here, please?
Again,
do you want this driver's license or not?
So to end this quote unquote quick hit that we've been talking about for 20 minutes now.
It's all right.
Listen, Amelia Clark. I'm not here to tell you can't do whatever the fuck you want to.
No.
Do whatever the fuck you want to in whatever capacity you want to do that shit. I do not. At the end of the day, I really don't care. Am I going to read this comic? No, I'm not the demo. And that's the point I was trying to make about the Comic-Con shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? At Comic-Con, most dudes are going to be there because that's the demo.
Yeah.
Right? Your comic book, you probably get some readers because again, you're Amelia fucking Clark. You're Daenerys Targaryen. You're a famous actress.
That's right.
You're going to get some readers just off of your fame alone.
Correct.
And the book the comic book might actually be fucking good.
It may be. Yeah. I think I may want to read it now that we've talked about it. I think I may want at least the first episode. I mean, at least the first. No,
it's just not.
Edition,
it's just not my type. It's not my demo. You know what I'm saying? Man, listen, I'll read a Storm comic book all day. I'll read a motherfucking Rogue comic book all day. I'll read an Electric comic book all day. Mm-hmm. I read a Wonder Woman comic book all day. You know what I mean? I read a Catwoman comic book all day. Like, it's a bunch of female characters in the comic book space that I would read every issue.
Because they're not their vaginas.
Right. And that's what I'm saying.
You see what I'm saying? Because they're not their vaginas.
Maybe this character will develop into being more than that. But it's like she's a mom, 24/7 mom, and her period is her secret power. And the comic book is called Mom, Mothers of Madness. And it's like everything is about her being a woman. But then you're going to want me to look at her as if she's a hero, like she's doing something more. Like Wonder Woman is not, her name is Wonder Woman, but she also inspires men.
Correct.
That was the real, like, it's not just about her being a woman. It's like she inspires people.
Correct. She's
have
pure.
You said so far about your character that is inspiring outside of the normal shit? Because you said she's a mother 24/7. Well, motherfucker, I'm a father 24/7. You mean to tell me a mother 24/7 is inherently better than a father 24/7?
Now you're on the line to the double standard. Now you sound real.
What are you trying to inspire?
Correct.
With this character.
Yeah, because and not only that, this mother superhero person, what about the billions of mothers, because there's the billions of mothers on the planet now who do this every day. So what makes her super outside of these women who do it?
It ain't 9 billion mothers.
I said the billions. I didn't say 9 billion. I said there's 9 billion people on the planet.
Oh, got you. I got you.
Yeah. So the billions of mothers, what makes her different than the other mothers on the planet? Yeah, because other mothers on the planet are mothers 24/7 and also have their periods.
Maybe she's saying they're not different. She's not different from them, so that gives them the sense of okay, I can be her. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because that's kind of what superheroes are supposed to do.
Got you.
Is make you feel like you can do that. It's obviously it's some things like Wonder Woman can pick up a fucking building. Like you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But when she picked up that building to save those children,
when she's brave,
it inspired people to be brave.
When she's
so
brave,
you can do shit like that.
When she's righteous, things like that. We understand
the powers that they have inspire people to do good, to be better than themselves
right now.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, her having a period. How does that make motherfuckers better than what they are?
How does that inspire?
How does that inspire people to be brave? Having a period. I can't have one. So then I can't be brave?
Jesus.
I physically cannot have a period. I'm a male.
Yeah.
Now I can't be brave?
We're just, I'm curious to see how she's going to balance this out.
Contextually.
Yeah, I want to see how she's going to balance this out. This is going to be crazy.
It has to come from somewhere. Contextually, you got to make this work. Yeah. And so far, what I've read, I don't know how you make this shit work for every reader. Because men are going to want to read it. Tyson said he's going to read the shit. He's a man.
I'm a man.
He's a male.
Wholeheartedly.
Penis and balls.
That's right. They swinging and banging.
No periods.
Right. None. Never.
Not that I know of. You know what I'm saying?
I hate you so much.
You know what I mean? So, how are you going to make this comic book work for him? Even though he may not be the target demo.
No, and I'm not.
How can he become a part of that demographic? Of the people who want to
how can I
engage
be included
and read this?
Yeah, how can I
be like, included? You know what? This is a character she should continue to develop. That's all I'm saying. That's all we're saying. How does this work for us? That's it. Because it has to work for everybody who wants to read it, right? It has to.
Because that's what comics do. That's what comics do. Comics transcend your borderlines. They transcend the social norm.
Wonder Woman inspired. That's what they do. You know Superman inspired. Batman inspired.
Yeah.
Wolverine, even though this motherfucker was absolutely crazy and sometimes, to be honest with you, not written very well. Sometimes the motherfucker is a stick of a character.
Absolutely.
To be honest with you.
Definitely.
But in other times, he was very inspirational. This is what they're supposed to do. If she's not going to do that for everyone who reads, then what's the point? Right? If you exclude people, does that make her a hero?
Man.
That's in this shit now, man. Cause we spent 30 minutes on this motherfucking shit.
Listen, it's all right. Because that was just the appetizer.
That was the appetizer.
That was just the appetizer. Because what we're talking about today, ladies and gentlemen, is a topic that's near and dear, man. And even when we talk about this, what we're getting ready to do, what we said earlier, man, we're going to unpack a little bit of trauma as we talk about this, man. Because it's unnecessary. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about religion in the black family.
I feel it.
You feel it?
I feel it in my soul.
Yeah.
I feel it, brother. Yes. I feel it in my soul. Yes, I do.
Religion in the black family.
Boy, that peak in the tab, you get that
Baptist church. The Methodist church.
Yeah.
The Catholic church.
Oh, Lord.
Church is chicken. Every church.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about religion.
Talking about religion.
The religion.
Talking about the religion. Listen, but the Jesus religion. Though.
Jesus.
Because black people don't give a fuck about the other religion. Now, some niggas go to prison and get their ally
and find different religions.
But we're not talking about them yet.
We ain't talking
we're
about
talking
them.
about that Jesus.
That Jesus.
We're talking about that good Lord Jesus.
Lord have mercy.
The Lord, the man that died on the cross for you and your sins. Even though you really didn't do anything wrong. He died for you and your sins. Even though you don't know what the fuck your sins is. He died for you.
Talk to him.
And your family.
Bring it back.
In the glory of his
back.
Father who is him. Ain't him, but is him. But ain't him, but is him. You don't have to understand it. You gotta believe. You ain't got to understand it. You just got to believe. Believe in the Lord. The Lord. Which one is it? Is it the Father, the Son, or the Holy Spirit? Yeah, what? All three of them are. It's all three of them. All three of y'all. That's what it is. He did it in His glory, and His glory. You supposed to praise Jesus, but also praise the Father. But they the same person. It don't matter. Fuck it. You're supposed to give God the glory. Give Him the glory. glory, yeah. Give him the glory, y'all. Woo! I gotta have myself like that. Oh,
yeah. You gotta come on back. Hey, shout out to Mo Shot. He coming out and leaving Alexis. You know, shout out. So listen, if you haven't been triggered already by this episode, we gonna talk about some real things.
Give me a minute.
We need to have a real conversation. Wait, we need those white glove ushers to come on through and circle around you. The lady with the arm fat who make that. Yeah, you need the lady with the arm fat. That's what you need. Go ahead. You need the lady with the arm fat.
And you two motherfuckers need Jesus.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We do need Jesus.
But first, before we need to talk about it, man. Let's talk about religion in the black community, man. Let's talk about how it has a stranglehold on us, man. And I'm talking about us particularly as a community. Religion across the world. As faulted as it is, and as my personal opinion, as faulted and as misguided as it has been or developed, it definitely has a stranglehold, particularly on us. And we can only speak from our perspective because, as you know, we two black men. Yeah. You know what I mean? We only can speak from our perspective.
So let me preface my statements moving forward with this.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't care about the contextual version of any religion on this planet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Let me go further into that.
Okay, I'm listening. Yeah.
If you believe in any religion, okay, that's, Christianity or any version of Christianity, any denomination of Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism or anything. Listen. Me personally, you can believe anything you want to. If that religion is keeping you sane and making you a good person and helping you stay a good person, and you're good to everyone around you, believe that religion. Because if that's helping you to stay a good person,
it's got to be positive in your life. It's gotta be positive in your life.
I would never want.
Has to be.
I would never want to take that away from somebody. You get what I'm saying?
Dig it.
And I would never. And I'm not speaking on this from a strictly negative point of view. Okay, some shit might sound negative, and it's only because things to me in these religions are completely nonsensical. Yeah. Right. In the sense of application, right? And that's all. It's just in the sense of application. Like this doesn't work in a real world sense. Okay, I can't apply it, so that makes zero sense to why that's in there. And then people tell you to believe it, even though it really doesn't make any sense. And to me, personally, I can't do shit like that.
Yeah.
It needs to apply in some way, shape, or form. And if it can't apply, then I don't fuck with it. Right. But that's me, though. If this shit makes you a better person, a good person, then I want you to be a good person.
Go for it.
That's me personally. Please go for it. So if you believe in Christianity and it makes you a good person, believe in it. If you believe in Islam and it makes you a good person, believe in it. If you believe in Hinduism and Buddhism and that makes you a good person,
hold on tight.
Please hold on to your religion.
Hold on tight, baby. Go ahead.
But for the majority of you motherfuckers who are terrible people and then be like, God got me, sit your motherfucking ass down. We got some shit to talk to you pussy niggas about.
Listen, so I'm going to preface that with what Jay said to the same exact thing. I live by the golden rule. Treat people how you want to be treated.
Yep.
Be a good person. Don't be a douchebag. And then if you are a douchebag and you find a religion that makes you not a douchebag, by all means, continue upon that path. But I don't think that this should be the end all be all. This should be the measuring stick or the guiding light of how you become a good person, because you should naturally want to be that internally.
Yep.
Right? That relationship between you and the creator, whoever they may be in your life, and the good person that you are or are not, you know what I'm saying? That should come from inside. That's internal. That's a deep personal spiritual relationship. So I agree with everything Jay said, man. You know, if it's making you a better person, by all means, have at it. Right. Please imbibe as much as you can to be a better person. Cause at the end of the life cycle, your last moments on this blue marble, you know, nobody's going to have the answers but the creator, whoever he or she or it may be in your life. And
again, before we really get into it, one more thing. I am not an atheist.
No.
Okay. No. I don't believe that.
No.
There's nothing, and we just came from life doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. A flower has seeds. Those seeds, once they go into the ground, they spring up more flowers.
Correct.
A lion, a male lion, has sexual intercourse with a female lion
to have cubs.
And then
another lion is made.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Bugs. They impregnate each other, and then they lay eggs or sacs or whatever, and then new bugs are made.
Correct.
So listen, bacteria, viruses split from each other.
They replicate.
Yep. Okay. With osmosis or whatever the fuck it is.
That's exactly what it's called. It's called osmosis. Yeah.
And they create a new cell, a new form, a new self.
It's a copy of life. Yeah, it's a copy of life.
So life comes from life. We understand. So I'm not stupid. Okay. So the earth is living. Okay. Whether you want to believe that or not, if you don't, I mean, science, right, obviously, right? The earth is alive in certain aspects. So in order for this life form to be here, something had to create it.
Yeah.
I'm not that fucking stupid, okay? I understand that. So I understand that there's something bigger than myself.
There's something more.
Bigger than us.
There's something more that
created this shit that we came out of.
Absolutely.
Got it. What we're about to do is go into the contextual information about the religion.
Correct.
That us as black people, most of us follow, and how nonsensical a lot or most of it is in reference to how we got here and what's going to happen after we leave here.
Correct.
You know how we got here, what we're supposed to do when we're here, and then how and what will happen to us after we leave here.
Absolutely.
That's what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay? So just before we go on any forward, I'm not some fucking atheist.
Yeah, neither am I. Neither. We are not atheists.
I do not believe in the Big Bang where it's just nothing.
Yeah, just out of nothing, something came.
That's fucking retarded too.
And you know what? And even today, people are trying to, I don't know if this is even a word, but they're trying to religiousize the Big Bang. They was like, yeah, that's the moment God woke up. I was like, what?
The moment God woke up. He was asleep before.
And he snapped it, and then all of the creation, and they were like, yeah, God lives outside of time and space because he's the creator of all and everything. So time and space. And I was like, okay, I get that. I understand. But you're trying to give him credit for the creation of, and again, because that's what the book tells you to do. It tells you, and when we say the book, we talk about the Bible. Yep. So we may have to name drop in order to this conversation to make contextual sense to you guys so you understand it. But we don't like to
understand.
You know what I mean?
Understand.
I was trying to say to understand it contextually, but
that nigga said understand. I don't know the fuck understand.
I had overstood, and now I'm undersensitive.
Yo, that's fucking. Listen, bro.
So definitely, we like to talk about this. Have this conversation and talk, man, because like Jay said, man, religion is so huge and so, in my opinion, so out of control. That's a weird analogy because it's a system of control, but it is out of control. Isn't that weird? Right? That's weird. Anyway. So religion is out of control. So what we want to focus on, man, is our own personal experiences and religion, right? So let's get right into it, man, right? Let's talk about organized religion in the black community, man. Let's talk about our black churches, man. Let's talk about the Baptist church, one of the most powerful churches in the black community, the Methodist church, the Pentecostal churches, man. Let's talk about the Episcopal churches. Let's talk about church, right? So for our listeners out there, man, in Radio Land, man, so the black churches, podcast land, Radio Land. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. In podcast land, man, the black church is important to African Americans, man, especially here in the United States, because, outside of slavery, especially during the harshness of chattel slavery here in America, slaves and people of color weren't allowed to read. So education was very limited. So what we were given was the Holy Bible.
Education wasn't limited, my nigga, to people to slaves in the South. It was non-existent.
Oh, you right.
So let's start there. It was limited for the quote unquote
that's why I
free niggas up north.
See what I'm saying? That's why I said African Americans. Right. It limited because obviously the majority of the African American population was enslaved. So I had to say limited because I didn't want to say, because you're gonna get people who be like, no, y'all make it sound like every black person was uneducated. Well, if 85% of them are,
that's why I said it the way I said it.
You know what I'm saying?
The free niggas up north.
So that's why I use the word limited though.
The free niggas up north had limited education. Obviously, like, you know what I mean? They could get education, and a lot of them were educated.
Definitely.
But it was limited because, again, like, everybody in America at that point in time, regardless if you was up north or down south, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Legally, niggas weren't even men, or they weren't capable of education because they were 3/5 of a man. Mm-hmm. Even if you were a free person up north, constitutionally, you were still 3/5 of a person.
Correct. And don't forget that, you're like we said, education was limited because even if you were free, well off, and formally educated, that means you had a grade school education or higher, you still weren't allowed to universities for quite some time because they excluded you because of the color of your skin. So you could not go have a master's degree. You could not go have a doctorate. You know what I mean? This wasn't until the mid 19th century or so where they started to do that. And then of course, obviously after the Emancipation Proclamation with the Freedmen's Bureau and our HBCUs popping up here and there. So it's been a time.
But
very limited education. So basically, you weren't allowed to read.
The book they did give you, though,
the book that they did put upon you, or force upon you,
the Bible
was the Bible. So from there, because that was the only book in our community, and a lot of our traditions from Africa were definitely oratory traditions. They came from word of mouth. It spread that way, right? A lot of, you only had one or two slaves who by master's decree were able to read the good book, and they were the preachers and pastors and so on and so forth. So the staple of our community outside of the atrocities that were happening in slavery happened to be the church. You know what I'm saying? Sundays were usually less work because it was reserved for the Lord, and you didn't have to work. I didn't say you didn't have to work, but you didn't have to work as much because you had that time allotted where you had to listen to the good book. Okay.
And the shit that trips me out, because you coming from what you're doing is fact now. So what I'm gonna do is interject some common sense, right?
Okay.
Anything that would come from the person who is actively oppressing you, you should always look at that shit.
It just simply can't be good.
In a fucked up way.
Yeah. Would they say it's you take it with a grain of salt? You must.
So I mean, again, like, I would have just looked at that shit like, what the fuck are they trying to pull on us? But I understand back in those days the fear of being killed or being sold away from your family or you know what I'm saying, hung upside down and castrated in front of your fucking in front of your children, or your children being castrated in front of you, or drowned or shot or whipped or burned alive or quartered. You know what I'm saying? All kind of crazy shit like that, because they believed they had the right.
The God-given right to do so according to the same book they tried to feed you.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Just think about that for a second.
That's a mind fuck and a half, isn't it?
The massa just sold your 2 teenage daughters to a slave owner who is a known pedophile. And he did that shit because in his eyes, he had a religious right to do so. And that's not every slave owner.
And that's not every scenario either.
Right. And that's not every scenario.
Yeah.
Because a lot of slave owners did that shit as a means to make money.
Correct.
They didn't even and they were Christians, but they didn't put that context upon it. They were just like, well, this is how you're supposed to make money these days. You're supposed to have slaves.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I don't feel like I'm doing anything wrong. And that was how they dealt with that shit.
Yes.
So there were slave owners who was like, it's my God-given right according to the Bible.
Yep.
Because even Jesus said, listen, that man is supposed to have a slave. You're not supposed to beat that slave to death. That's wrong.
Yep.
But if he, make sure his slaves stay in line, that's okay. Right? So the other slave owners believe, like, listen, I'm not doing anything wrong because this is our society. And if we've built society this way, then obviously I'm doing everything in the glory of Jesus, in the glory of God.
Glory of God. That's what they say.
And listen, if I was doing wrong, God would have showed me I'm doing wrong by a flood or something. Like,
he would have smited me.
You look at the stories in the Bible.
Yeah, he would have
Sodom and
smited
Gomorrah. You know what I'm saying?
The Pharaoh and the Jews in Egypt. Yeah, like, Pharaoh and Moses.
Everything. Noah. Like all the stories where it's like, listen, this shit fucking up. I gotta wipe the slate clean real quick and let motherfuckers know I'm still in charge and this is how this works.
It's either follow God or some real serious shit going on.
And that's what happened. So during slavery, they was like, wait, nothing like that's happening? Not even that. Niggas are prospering.
That's right.
Oh, then this to the glory.
That's right. This must be how we're supposed to live. So
yeah. So I just want to put the context on that, like the common sense context. Like when quote unquote massa start giving you shit, that's when you're supposed to be looking sideways at it.
Absolutely. So and I want you to keep that in mind because we're going to talk about the contradictions of the book and then how we live today in our certain, you know what I'm saying? So
that's a little bit of the beginning, right? Like, so basically, we just touched lightly on the origin of how the religion came into the black community,
and
right?
How strong it is and the reason why.
Right.
You know, it has its birthplace in pain. In our community, it has its birthplace in pain, especially the organized religion in the black churches that we deal with today. It has it unequivocally, factually has its place in the middle of our hardest time as Americans or humans in this country.
And because we weren't educated back then, and the Bible was one of the only things we could lean on for mental stability. It just kind of
that touched me right there, boy. That touched me right there.
Because again, we didn't have any contextual. We didn't have we didn't have the intellectual prowess to understand the book contextually, right? So everything that was said, it was like every person who was reading that, from child to adult, were reading it on a child with a childlike mind state.
Yeah.
So everything that was being said, especially since it was being reinforced by massa, it kind of stuck a little bit harder to us mentally in a very negative way. Because again, we did not have the intellectual prowess to understand it contextually.
Gotcha.
So now we go from slavery and we get to Jim Crow now. You know what I'm saying? We get to niggas trying to get money on their own.
Yeah. Trying to create freedom.
Right.
Trying to create prosperity, wealth, a different kind of life other than bondage.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But they telling you, right?
Yeah.
That you can't go get this job because you're not smart enough. Niggas ain't smart enough.
Because they couldn't read.
You know what I'm saying? Because they couldn't read. Or they weren't reading at a very high level. Because we had the ability to read now. We had the right to go get an education.
Correct.
But because of the level of education that was given to us and the fact that Jim Crow laws were very harsh towards us, we weren't allowed to go get the better jobs, and we weren't allowed to go to the institutions where the education was better. You know what I'm saying? It's a deadly circle, right? No better education, can't get a better job.
Nope.
Can't get a better job. You can't put can't get your kids
in a better
closer to the points where they can get better education.
Exactly.
So Jim Crow was instituted to create a second class citizenship, and that second class person was the black man and woman.
Yeah.
So what did they turn to? The Bible.
Yeah. And also too, man, if you're thinking about it economically too, because that was, and again, this is the reason for this podcast, y'all, because I didn't think of it that way. But now that he explained what he explained, think of it this way too, right? If you're talking about better economic opportunity, as I explained earlier, man, our history is usually passed down through oratory, conversations. So imagine if you're in the black community, during Jim Crow, where you can't get a job as a bricklayer or a mason because you don't know that skill. But what do you know? The Bible. Mm-hmm. So you become a pastor. You become a preacher, a deacon, a first lady, whoever you may become, because that's your safe space. Not only that, that's what you know. You go for what you know. And that's one of the, and in that part of Jim Crow era, the position of a pastor not only comes with promise, prosperity, but it comes with position.
Right.
It comes with power. You see what I'm saying?
And that's why you see a lot of these churches today, like their birth dates are like 1908, 1910, 1918 and shit like that.
Yeah.
Because that's when this explosion of churches happened, because you couldn't go get the job. You couldn't go get, the education for your children. You couldn't get the housing that you really wanted.
Absolutely.
So you had all these issues and everything, but your family has been passing down for the last 60 years now.
Yeah, that the church.
Hey, all you gotta do is keep believing in Jesus.
God got you.
God got you. So you go to church and you go get charged up for the week, basically.
That's right.
You go Sunday and get charged up. You go through your stressful ass week. You know what I'm saying?
Just to come back again.
And get that charge. So now it went from being stuck on you mentally now to now it's becoming a part of your everyday life. It's the repetition of it now.
Correct.
Go to church Sunday. Go to church. You know what I'm saying? And now it's not only in your mind and in your heart now. It's in your fucking daily routine.
That's
now.
it. It's in your life.
You know what I'm saying? So you just incorporated this shit. And again, you could go to certain parts of the country now where there's predominantly, the population is predominantly black.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a church.
On every corner.
On every fucking corner.
On every corner.
That's not by happenstance. It's not coincidence.
That's by design.
That's design right there.
That's by
Trust
design.
Me, it's by design.
That is by design.
Trust me, it's by design. And that shit started in the Jim Crow era. You know what I mean? So, it's a lot that goes into the beginnings of it. We're just skimming.
Yeah, we're
the surface right now.
Yeah. So let's come back to what we just said about people in the church, right? The pastor, the first lady, the deacons, man. They're human beings just like we are. How come they're given so much power and free reign over our community? And these spiritual leaders at sometimes ain't as spiritual as you think they are. You know what I'm saying? So let's unpack that question.
Because they structured it the same. They structured it in the same way that the systems of racial caste were doing it to the entire community. Because
like we just explained, that was the only system you knew.
Right. So
that was the only system.
In order for them to deliver the text not only the way they wanted it to, but also in a way where it would stick.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They had to create a hierarchy.
They did. Okay.
Right. They didn't create it in a way where it's like, doesn't matter who comes to the table. Everyone's voice is everyone's opinion, everyone's voice, everyone's contextual understanding of what that book means is valid.
Got you.
Because that doesn't create a system of control. What that creates is a democracy, right? And a book doesn't work like that.
I was gonna say, in a perfect world, it would.
Even in a perfect world, that's the whole problem with religion, right?
Yeah,
because there's systems of control.
Yeah.
So you can't have a built-in democracy in religion. You have to have a hierarchy. It has to be. It has to be the all-powerful, and then it has to go down from there, because what's the point then, right? If there's nothing to look to, like if I gotta look, like if it's just like...
So you needed that example.
Yeah, so it's just like, you need an example of how to be in order for you to be that way.
So you have to have something to... I kind of get that. Something to aspire to outside of the book itself.
Because if you... And that's just the figure that you're trying to aspire to be like.
Okay.
That's not the context, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Context is something more insidious.
Oh, definitely.
What I'm saying is, if you have a group of people who believe a specific religion and everyone's opinion is valid, and regardless on the power structure, right?
Got you.
Someone can have a totally different opinion on how the text is understood
or perceived,
right? Yeah. Than the person who's supposed to be the head of the you know what I'm saying, the church or whatever,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if that person's opinion and perception and context is equal as the leaders, then what's the point of the leader?
Gotcha.
See what I'm saying?
Gotcha. I understood.
So then that person the leader, or maybe it's that person.
That creates confusion.
No, it doesn't create confusion. It creates chaos.
And
you can't, and that's not. You can't control it because then anyone could come in. It'd be like WikiLeaks or Wikipedia. Somebody could just go in there and
just change some shit and be like, nah, the sun was blue today. You're like, damn, no, the sun is. Sun is all okay.
You can't have that in a system of control.
Gotcha.
You can't do that.
Gotcha.
So you have to set up a hierarchy, and this person says this, and that's what it is. Well, pastor said this, and pastor.
And I mean, people have devoted their lives to the words of these people, and more in our time now, man, we starting to see even more and more that these spiritual leaders, man, are flat out fucking charlatans. Just flat out crooks.
Here's how it started, right? So in the Jim Crow era, a lot of the pastors were getting their talking points from the boule.
Oh,
and so what they were doing was they were just conforming, because these were and a lot of pastors back then weren't as educated as the boule.
Definitely. Yeah.
What they were, though, they were very convincing.
They were charismatic.
They were charismatic
great speakers, great public speakers.
And so what they did, they had enough education. They were able to spin those talking points and apply it to the text.
Gotcha.
And so the text is very, like in any religion, it's very open to interpretation.
Yeah, subjective.
So you can spin it to whatever narrative you want to spin it to, given a story out of that particular religious text. You can just, here's what I want you to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Listen.
Hit you with this dart real quick. Bam.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like what I'm talking about right now, this is the only thing that's relative to what I'm talking about right now. That's the only thing I need you to think about. Bam. Give it to it.
Noah survived the flood. You want to know why? Because he held on in choppy waters.
To God's unchanging hand.
He held on in choppy water. So as long as you can ride the storm out, you gonna be fine.
I know you're starving, and I know your storm may have you and your kids on the streets, but don't forget the basket's coming around. You want me to still have faith? You want me to still hold on? I'm hungry. I'm so hungry I can't even listen to what you say.
And that's the insidious part. The money.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, the money has always been in.
Oh, yes.
The religions.
Oh, yes.
Even before the money in religion predates the transatlantic slave trade.
Definitely.
It's not something that's unique or inherent to American society.
Oh no, it's
money's been in the church way back when it was in the Middle East, and it was inherent there.
Listen, even before that, when you talk about ancient civilizations and their bases of religions, offerings to their gods, their deities, offerings to, and whether it be monotheistic or polytheistic, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Money has always been a part of religion. You're right.
So in the Jim Crow era, so we can move on. The church, in the black community, what happened in that era was you saw the construction of and the explosion of the amount of churches in the community and the superstardom of the pastors and shit in the church. You know what I'm saying?
The church elite.
Yeah. So that's what happened in the Jim Crow era, because again, those people outside of that system of control were second-class citizens, regardless on how much of
what level
celebrity they were.
No matter what level they could get in the black church,
they were still,
no matter how high you ascended,
they were still second-class citizens to the country. So they had to position themselves where they positioned themselves in the black community, because it helped them escape their life.
Gotcha.
Helped them get out of the situation that they were in.
Oh, indeed. Yeah.
So that's what happened in in the Jim Crow era, right?
Yeah.
So we move on to the Civil Rights era. And this is when the church, the black church, got its national spotlight.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we were starting to branch out. It was starting to definitely come to the mainstream.
Obviously, one of the most famous pastors in the history of this country, maybe even the world, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? He was one of the main leaders in the entire civil rights movement, right? So this is where the pastors have become legitimate superstars now, where the black church can affect how laws are made and written in this country, can affect movements in this country.
Yeah, not just the life of blacks, but the lives of every American.
And so what that did was validate the church in the black community.
That's what it did.
It validated the church, right? So now the church can't do anything wrong because
no matter what happens.
Look at what the church has done
for the world.
A reverend was the focal point. Fuck, we're just talking Christian churches.
Yeah, let's talk.
Because fuck Marcus Garvey, fuck the Muslim Malcolm X, fuck all the other people who really didn't believe in God in that sense.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? All the other people, all the other black people, the black leaders who helped us during the civil rights movement, the one that they, and you know what I mean?
You know who you know.
Teach you about the most and push the most, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And that's not just because he was more of a pacifist in the earlier years, you know what I'm saying, make it, because, they got to push if you're not violent, then nothing's going to happen to you, right?
Right. And then, or if you're peaceful, everything you want will ultimately happen for you.
It will come to you in time.
Because peace is the way.
It was because he was the Christian. He was the Christian.
That's right.
Right? So, in that sense, because this is what the majority of the country believes. When I say majority of the country, I mean mainstream.
Absolutely.
Poor, middle-class white people. This is what they believe.
Definitely.
They believe in Christianity. They believe in Jesus. This is what the majority of them believe, right?
Yeah,
obviously. That's where we got it from.
Yeah.
So it was easy for them to say him because of similarities. Okay, the movement is getting bigger. We really can't stop it. There's a lot more poor and middle-class white people who are saying, hey, why can't we integrate? Why can't we, you know what I'm saying? If they're just trying to live like us, then what is the real issue?
That's right.
Now, and there were a lot of people during that time that were, like, I'm not racist. And I was saying white people. Yeah. I'm not racist.
Just all kind of people.
I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not
I don't hate it. Yeah, I don't hate anybody.
I think things would be easier if they had their corner and I had my corner.
Because it's been that way. This is the norm.
Right. It's been that way.
And the old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
But a lot more people were getting into the mindset of, well, shit, I mean, if they're peaceful and they're just trying to live like everybody else, then
what's the problem?
Why aren't we integrating? Like, people in the poor and middle white class communities actually started asking themselves that question, which is why the government had to come in and be like, okay, here's the civil rights movement, da 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 da.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And and they push it because it's like, hey, he was this guy, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Was the one who was the main focal point in this happening. Again, because he's a reverend, because it's Christianity, it all makes sense.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they pushed that shit. It wasn't until his latter years, until the last couple of years of his life, where he started to realize he was being used. You know what I'm saying? That the church was being used.
And he knew it.
He knew it.
Yeah, he knew it.
And he would go tell the church, and then the people in the church started turning on him.
Absolutely. See,
people don't talk about that part. People talk about the part where he was like, hey, maybe I shouldn't have did this. But people don't talk about the next part where motherfuckers in the church actually started to turn on him. The same thing happened to Malcolm, where motherfuckers in the church started to turn on him. In fact, Elijah Muhammad turned his back on Malcolm.
Yep.
The church is not set up for unity. The church is set up to disseminate the word and control the masses.
That's exactly. And that's not just the Christian church. That's every religion on the planet.
Yes. And I think that's what he was.
That's every religion on the planet.
I don't think MLK looked at the church in that way.
Yeah.
But he started to see the systems of control within the government and shit.
Yeah, because it started to crumble. The facade started to crumble.
Yeah, he saw it. He saw that there was, they clearly use me to control these niggas.
That's right.
They clearly
that's it.
Use me.
And you know it, man.
And I'm saying,
absolutely know it.
If you start digging deeper, if he would have started getting deeper, he would probably start saying, oh shit, maybe I'm using Christianity because I'm spewing the shit that they gave.
Yeah.
There you go. See what I'm saying now?
Yep. Absolutely.
So it was only right for them to put him on a pedestal, because when you put him on a pedestal, you put the church on a pedestal, and then that validates everything that's been said in the church to the black community, right?
Correct.
For all these years now, for the last 100 years. You know what I'm saying? It validates everything.
That validates everything. That validates the treatment from way back when your ancestors were a slave till now. Everything was worth it.
Validates everything.
Worth it because it got you social progress.
And I said the last
everything
100,
is
and I
worth
said
it.
the last 100 years because 1964 is when the bill was passed, right? We were technically freed in 1865. So that 100 years of you being able to have the choice to involve yourself in the religion, everything in that, it validated you making the right choice.
Yeah.
And now your family is for the rest of history, for the rest of time, y'all gonna be Christians because Jesus, right?
Because Jesus. Yeah.
So now we move forward into the 70s and 80s where drugs start coming into the communities, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't preach, hey, we need to get all of our kids off of drugs, or we need to go to the government and, you know what I'm saying, remove drugs from the community.
Yeah. Or see why so many drugs are coming into our community. We weren't bringing it in.
The only thing they say is believe in Jesus and it'll happen.
Yep. God bought you. God is not going to let you smoke crack.
God
is going to get you off that heroin.
You see what started happening now?
It's going to get you off that.
Remember we said back in the day, the slave owners were doing this shit either because they thought they had a God-given right or because, hey, listen, everybody else is doing it, so I'm doing it. And if it was bad, something bad would happen to me.
Correct.
But because nothing's bad happening to me or my family,
I must be doing it right.
I'm doing it right because I'm prospering, right? Everything was done in the glory of God.
That's right.
So now the church is taking that same mindset and saying everything is being done in the glory of God, even though the community is now deteriorating.
Oh, suffering terribly.
Because from the 40s to the 60s, the community actually came up.
It did. It was prospering.
There was less crime. There was more money in the community due to industrial jobs.
Yep.
Everything. There was a lot more money in the community. Yeah. It's when the government stepped in and said, hey, we're going to crack down on crime. We're going to get tough on crime. The criminal element, quote unquote, even though we all know what the fuck that means.
Yep.
And the loss of jobs, public housing, all of that shit deteriorated the community in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Drugs, all that shit.
But again, still standing as the beacon, the pillar, the one place in our ratty, shitty, torn down community was the what?
The one place that could not be touched
was the what?
With the evil of the world was the church. Think about that for a second. Do you think that is by design? Or by just coincidence? It's just coincidentally happened that way.
Nope.
And this is how fucked up it is. Black people will look at that shit and be like, well, because God won't let them touch the church. That's why. He won't let them touch the house of the Lord. So God will protect his house, but not yours.
And you're his people. You're his children.
Think about that for a second.
Make it make sense. And again, they say you got to lean on the understanding of the Lord, right?
Yep.
You got to trust in the Lord. Well, with all my trust and all my property that I trust, he go keep safe. Why can't he defend me like he defended the church?
Then the 90s and 2000s come, right? and all the things that these people used to preach back in the day where they were staunch on not letting gay people in the church. Women ain't supposed to be, coming to church with the titties out and shit like that.
Yep.
Hey, we know there's some gang members in this motherfucker. We can't let the gangs in here, none of that shit like that. All that shit started to go out the window. You want to know why? Because money is now the root of the church. What y'all motherfuckers didn't realize was money was always the root of the church.
Say it again.
You just didn't see it. Money was always the root of the church. You just didn't see it.
Of course.
They were better at hiding it from you.
There you go. The narrative was better. The show was better.
Now you hear shit like this.
Like this.
I had enough money to buy a beautiful Cessna Citation jet, cash. And since there's so much jealousy in this room tonight that I can feel over this, a few weeks later, I bought another one worth 3 times what that one was. Cash. Act happy over my blessing, folks.
So that type of shit. And that was, what's Cuz's name again? Mike Murdoch?
Yeah, I think it's
He's one
Mike
of these
Murdoch.
televangelists. So that's not, I'm not saying that's the black pastor, nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? In the black church. But there's black pastors, like black mega churches who do some shit like that. So what's Cuz's name?
His name is Creflo Dollar.
Creflo, Creflo.
His Dollar is in his name.
Bro, I wouldn't even go in there, but fuck. The nigga's name is Creflo Dollar. Does that sound like a fucking pastor or a pimp? Trick question, they're the same. It's the same thing. A pimp and a pastor are one and the same. Ugly suits, big ugly suits, stable of people, and pimp and taking money from them. Regardless on what the actual service is, doesn't matter. I mean, both of y'all getting fucked, right? Prostitutes getting fucked.
Yeah.
People in the church getting fucked.
What's the dude name in Atlanta? Eddie Long.
Bishop Eddie Long.
Bishop Eddie Long.
He died because he was long dicking all them boys out there.
Hey, Bishop Eddie Long was dicking everybody.
He got cancer. So people said that was the Lord talk. Nope. I'm not even gonna sit here and I'm not even gonna front with you. I don't think the nigga died of cancer. I think the nigga died of AIDS.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I think the nigga died of AIDS, getting out there fucking them boys. And here's the problem. If he was a gay man, which he was a gay man. It's okay to be gay.
It's okay to be bisexual.
It's okay to be bisexual.
Because he did have a wife, right?
Yeah, he did have a wife.
Yeah, he did have a wife.
Okay to be bisexual. So that's fine. It's your choice, bro. You live your life.
That's right.
The problem was because his stature in the community as a pastor was already cemented. Had he been like that, he wouldn't have had that stature no more.
Oh, he would have lost the power because he had to be above reproach.
Listen, he was having sex with men. That's supposed to be against what you're supposed to do according to the Bible, right? I was
going to say that's against all the rhetoric that you spewed. That's against all that you said believe in.
All those years while you were preaching.
See the flaws, man?
So you didn't come out, right? Or because you wouldn't have come out because they would have looked at you like you were a fraud. Not like, you know what? That's who he is. We still gonna ride with you, Pastor. That's
correct.
Who you are.
Because you're human, just like we are. Just like we are.
Would have lost his motherfucking position in the community. That's why he wouldn't come out. That's why he did all that shit on the low.
He would have lost control.
That's why.
He would have lost control.
That's why. That's why niggas be on the down low. Not because of them being ashamed or afraid, it's because their position in the community or their perceived positions in the community.
Yeah, man.
And what they would lose.
And that definitely runs the risk or threat of persecution, man. Because listen, you know, what Jay just laid out, man, was the understanding that church folk ain't that holy, man. They're human just like we are.
Yep.
And putting them on that pedestal, and like you said, you know, Bishop Eddie Long. What's the other Bishop Wilson, the dude 2 years ago who was shown eating old girl pussy, and it wasn't his wife's. It wasn't his wife.
He was munching too.
That wasn't his wife.
That nigga had years of experience.
He was a
nasty bitch.
He was a nasty bitch.
He was in there. He was slobbing it. And again,
old girl was in that motherfucker just loving it. She was in there. Woo, woo. She was getting that pussy ate to the point she was like,
Jesus Christ.
I'm telling you, he was putting that work in,
getting that snapper, eating the fuck up,
and you know, for that situation, you know what I'm saying. You know, these people are preaching one rhetoric of how you should be clean and pure, but then they're behaving with, you know, as they call it in the church, sins of the flesh. They're being regular human beings, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the bad point of religion, or organized religion, if you ask me, is that it's so contradictory to how you live today, how we live life right here, right now. It's so contradictory that it makes you, if you're critical.
And you know what? It ain't nothing wrong with that man eating pussy.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's the problem. It's not. People in the church were like, he shouldn't be doing. You get your pussy ate. How are you
how
saying?
Do you think other little Christians are made?
Why are you sitting here saying that man shouldn't be doing that? You get your pussy because it's on camera.
Yeah.
You get your pussy ate. How are you going to sit here and tell the pastor he can't eat pussy?
Mm-hmm.
You get yours ate, ma'am.
Now, where he did fuck up was under the it wasn't his wife's.
All right. Okay.
You know, it wasn't his wife.
Well, listen, that's between him, his wife, and God.
And the God.
That's between them three.
You know,
that got shit to do with you.
Ain't got nothing to do with you.
He made the vow to his wife, and
he owed her the loyalty.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
He owed his wife the loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
He don't owe you shit.
Wait. What, Tom Hanks? What did we owe y'all?
Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing. He didn't owe you shit. You choose to practice this religion. You choose to go to these churches with these idolaters, these motherfucking human beings.
These human beings
who try to disseminate the word to you, and then in return, you put them on a pedestal.
Correct.
And then you get motherfuckers like Mike Murdoch who tell his motherfucking congregation
to clap for him.
Listen, I just bought me a motherfucking private jet cash. Then he stopped for a second. Nobody clapped for him. That nigga said, since all you motherfuckers hating, he called his whole congregation a bunch of haters. And since all you motherfuckers ain't happy for me, you know what I did the next week? I bought another one
on your bitch ass.
Then that nigga told them to act happy, not even be happy. That nigga just said act happy. I know you're not happy, but act happy anyway. Me. Tell me what part of the religion contextually that you are fucking practicing. Tell me what part that comes from. Tell me.
Just tell me. And listen, and everybody wants to say, oh, you know, people who do God's work, they continue to get blessings and blessings and blessings and blessings. Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Right? Yeah, you know, there's got to be a point where the, you know, blessings are going to overflow, definitely. But blessings got to stop, right? If you're truly doing the work of God to care for your fellow man, if you really read the book from start to finish, Jesus really had three major principles, right? 3. Unconditional love, right? Brotherhood, or treat thy neighbor like thy neighbor, right? The golden rule, which we live by, right? And the third one is forgiveness. Everything that happened to Jesus or anyone, and anytime Jesus interacted with anybody in that book, he forgave. God, I'm so sorry I sinned. I forgive you, my son. I'm dying on the cross so that your sins are forgiven.
He died so that every single person
in the pantheon of time
can be forgiven.
So he had those three major principles.
Even moving forward in time.
Correct.
Where God would make you with original sin.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, y'all said God made everybody.
Yep.
Right? The Father is why you're here, not your mother and father.
Nope.
But the Father.
And not even Jesus.
Is why you're here, right?
Jesus, it wasn't Jesus that created everybody.
Even though Jesus and God are literally the same, it's just a different version of the same entity.
Correct. That's definitely a mold.
The Father brought you here, okay? And when he brought you here, he brought you here with original sin.
Yep.
He didn't want to make you clean.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because that's too hard for him to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you perfect.
I'm not gonna make you. I'm not gonna make not even perfect. I'm just gonna give you a clean slate when you're born.
Mm-hmm.
So you might mess up, but I'm just gonna give you a clean slate. No, the nigga creates you with a dirty slate, or at least a spot on it. That spot,
there's a blemish somewhere.
That blemish.
Mm-hmm.
If you live your life without making any more mistakes, from birth, and you ain't did nothing wrong, and you live life perfectly to the T, and you ain't got no more blemishes on your record other than the one that you were born with, guess what? Your ass going to hell because you haven't accepted him in your heart. Do you understand how fucked up that is? He's the one who gave you the blemish. And then he wants you to accept him and to accept his son. The fact that his son died for your sin, for the original sin that he gave you.
He gave you. He put it on you. Yeah.
And the real trick is his son is him.
Yeah. Oh, wait. And then in the book that he gave to the world, he told you that I will never leave you nor forsake you, for I love you so. In the contextual understanding of what love is on this planet, ladies and gentlemen, love is supposed to be pure, it's supposed to be kind, it's not supposed to hurt, and it's not supposed to put you in danger.
That's the hallmark version of love. Love does hurt. It hurts to trust motherfuckers to a point where you become blind because you don't know what people are doing. It hurts to love someone because you are now vulnerable to them. Everything you do in your life will have an impact on that person, or everything you will do in your life will be impacted by that person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you unconditionally love a motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Love is pain. Love is life, though. And life, a part of life is pain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's supposed to be lived.
You know what I'm saying? And love is not pure in the sense of like, because when people, again, this is more of the, you know, that shit, that not racial, but like, I guess it is. When they say, you know, when you think of pure, you think of white shit, right? You think of snow, you think of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You think of things that are clean, spotless, right. As they say, even in the book.
Yeah,
spotless.
So
right,
like when you think of like this, but love is lamb, love is work, lamb. Man. Love is fucking.
It's dirty.
And the people who love the hardest work the hardest. The people who love the most put in the most work.
That's so when they are betrayed or not, the love is not reciprocated, it causes pain.
Right.
I dig it.
So
I dig it.
And so and that's what I think love is. Right. And so when you got somebody, the father, who's not putting in any fucking work in the exchange of love, right? Or the only work that he put into it is, here's this blemish that you have, and that blemish could send you to hell, could send you to eternal damnation. I made that place of eternal damnation,
by the way, because I made the person who also made the place of eternal damnation.
No, he made the place for that person.
Yeah, for that person. So wow.
So I'm going to send you there with that blemish that you have that I gave you, unless you accept me in your life and then live life exactly this way. Because deviating from that track, then you have to be forgiven again. Who do you get forgiven by? Jesus. He's dead and gone already. So now you got to go to the church to have a pastor or whoever to forgive you, or you got to pray and ask Jesus for forgiveness again every time you fuck up. You just got to close your eyes and pray. That's it. None of that shit sounds crazy to anybody in the church. That doesn't fuck with you. Doesn't plague your mind. It doesn't fuck with your common sense. It doesn't. And the first thing niggas will say will be, it don't have to make sense. You just gotta believe. But then niggas will go to church Sunday and say, it ain't no faith without work. What message? What can y'all stick this? Get one message.
It's contradictory.
What is the message?
It's contradictory.
Is it God? Is it God is all love? Is it he's a vengeful God?
Yeah.
Is it what the fuck is the actual message?
Say all of that. God, your God loves you, and God is, he's never gonna leave you nor forsake you.
But don't fuck with him,
But don't you fuck with God, because he gonna strike you down. He'll take everything he gave you away just to prove that he's all powerful. But if he loves me, why does it have to come? Can we have a conversation first? Can we talk about it first?
We can't.
Listen, wait. Can he send his servant, which is you, Pastor, to come interject? Look, you fucking up. God told me you fucking up.
You said you got a personal relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
How is he not speaking on your behalf?
Thank you.
How is Jesus not speaking on your behalf? Hey, listen, man, I know Betty, she sucked some dick that wasn't supposed to be sucked. You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't her dick to suck.
But listen though. You know how your children are, Father. They're weak in the flesh. Mm-hmm. She had a lapse in judgment.
That's it.
But outside of that, one lapse in it was 2 for 1. It was 2 for 1. 2 for 1.
2 for that was 2 for 1 night.
Cheap liquor.
It's 2 for 1 night. You know how she like it.
But outside of that one lapse,
cuz smell like the.
You know what I'm saying?
Cuz smell like
that's a pretty decent person.
She.
I know she cheated on her taxes.
And
you know what I'm saying. I know she smoked weed.
Yeah, look. Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
You put that here.
You put the weed here.
You put that there. So
Father, I'm just letting you know. I'm not saying you wrong for it. I'm just saying you did put it there. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you didn't tell them not to imbibe in it.
You
know what I'm saying?
Because you said that they could live off the earth. In fact, the Garden of Eden was that was
the garden.
It was the benchmark. They were supposed to live off the land and in harmony with the animals thereof.
What I'm trying to say, Father, is she's a flawed human, but just go ahead and let her slide.
Yeah, you'll go easy on her.
You know what I'm saying?
Just go easy on her.
Jesus don't talk. Well, that's you. That's what you think.
Yeah.
Jesus got it. If he has it, how can he do that for everybody? For everyone. How can he do that for everybody? How can Jesus do that for every single person?
Yeah.
Now, I mean, ideologically, I guess he could because, Jesus was, powerful in the sense that he did things that there's no explanation to, right? Mm-hmm. Because essentially he is God, right?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He is God. Like there was no, there's no distinction between the two, right? As far as what they can do, because he is just a part of God, right? He is the human embodiment of what God is.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Which even in that sense, it doesn't make any fucking sense. But again, that's theology and shit. You know what I'm saying? We're not getting into theology right now. We're simply talking about what this religion means to the black community, right? Mm-hmm. So you got these fucking pastors who preach this shit in a way where it seems sarcastic at times, and then at other times it just seems like they just really just want that money from you. I mean, it's churches that have fucking ATMs in it.
It's churches that are asking their new members for their checking and routing numbers. Get out of my face, bro. Are you serious right now? Religion is a business, baby. Religion is it's $1 billion business.
There's been pastors who have gotten upset at the congregation during service and said, all we got during the last service was $1,000. I will shut service down if we can't get more out y'all. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Literally. Google it.
I thought the dissemination of the word was the true riches. The salvation
of my soul.
Of not only my soul,
but everybody.
But the congregation souls was the point. Why would you shut down service if motherfuckers don't give you money? Better question, why the fuck Jesus need my money?
Well, listen, you get into deep waters, boy.
Well, this is how this fine.
Listen, yeah.
Well, Jesus don't need the money. The money for the church so the church can I can go outside right now and go in a corner and get on a fucking milk crate and disseminate the word. If I have the true intent in my heart, if I have the true intent in my soul,
that's right.
The word should get disseminated, right?
That's right. All you're trying to do is I'm just trying to save your eternal soul.
That's all you're trying to do.
And let's be clear, even in the black community, right? It has been a running joke for as long as I've been alive. I'm 33 years old. It has been a running joke as long as I remember watching adult comedians, any kind of comedians. We know in the black church where that money is really going because that joke has been around for years. We've been doing building fund for 40 years and they ain't put a goddamn doorknob on the church. Come on, y'all. Stop playing.
It ain't a new carpet in the motherfucker. The pews still the same.
Stop
playing.
It all
wood and shit. When the fuck we gonna go to stainless steel?
Listen, I swear.
We can't get a stainless steel pews?
I swear to you guys right now, I'm not kidding you.
Especially with all the fat motherfuckers in the world now.
Our family church literally just added an addition to the church like 2 years ago. We've been living in the South for what, 21 years, 22 years now?
Yeah, I guess so.
So like 22 years. And literally 2 years ago, they just broke ground and built a new convention hall where on the adjacent parking lot structure where
you've been living in the South that long. I've been all around the fucking world.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? But so it took them 20 years to build one extra building.
Yeah.
Come on now. Come on. It took you 20 years to build one extra structure. Where'd that money go?
Here's the problem. People think, well, if they doing that bad to the church, then God gonna get them. What? People say shit like that. But Creflo Dollar's worth $100 million. People say shit like that. And again, Kenneth Copeland, Eddie Long ain't continuing.
No. Even after his scandal,
he did. He can't not continue nothing.
God, you stopped me mid-sentence.
Yeah.
Even after his scandal,
I heard you say
he went back to the church. I said he continued to preach. I wouldn't say he continued doing it now. Even after his scandal, he went back to church and continued
I heard the word continue. I was like, no. Eddie Long ain't continuing shit. That nigga's run has ended its course, if you know what I mean. And I'm sure if there isn't heaven and a hell, he ain't up. I'll just be honest. Fuck his family, fuck everything. That nigga was doing fucked up shit in the community. In fact, a lot of those men who came out, and a lot of them were gay men. You know what I'm saying?
He had groomed them and manipulated them
since they were children.
Yeah.
So that also meant he was a pedophile. So fuck that nigga. If there is a hell, he's there.
Definitely.
Fuck his family. At me. Some of y'all niggas might be good people. So if you're a good person, then you'll condemn this nigga. Wouldn't you?
Wouldn't you? Right?
Okay, so anyway.
Continue.
You got motherfuckers like Kenneth Copeland. Kenneth Copeland is the richest mega church pastor in America. He has a net worth of $750 million.
You ever see Kenneth Copeland preach? He's so full of shit. He don't even open his. Bill Burr said that. Bill Burr said he's so full of shit. He don't even open his. I want to pray. I want to talk to y'all. Like, yo, wait,
he don't even open his fucking eyes.
That's how you know he full of shit. He don't even open his eyes to preach. He can't even look you in the eyes, yo.
$50 million. Tell me this. Answer me this. And we all seen the shit that he's done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's Christianity. Again, not black church Christianity.
But it's Christianity.
If the black people go to his church.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Definitely. So it's not like he can't be an all black church, but because, it's money involved, so he
following the same blueprint that everybody else does.
Every other corporation, they want mainstream America's money. They want your money too, because the black community has $1 trillion in spending power. But they want poor and middle class white people. That's the target demo. And if they could get straggler niggas to come in and throw their money at them for no apparent reason, then that's what they'll want. That's what they'll do.
Yeah.
But he's worth $750 million. Do you think God? Let's not even say. Do you think God gave him that money? Let me put this in another context. Why would God give just him $750 million and not spread that wealth out through the entire congregation?
Because remember, he loves all his children.
Right?
Who in that congregation only did an extra $1 million? Who wouldn't benefit or profit from that? Let's just talk about the consistent people who come to the physical building
the of the church, right?
Yeah, I got you.
Let's say it's 1,000 people. Okay, he couldn't give those 1,000 people $500,000, right? Because that's only what is that? What if you do? What's the math on that, my nigga? If you
take a look at it right now.
If you do 500,000 times 1,000, I'm about to do it right now. Okay. 500,000 times 1,000.
That's only five. That's only
that's 500 million.
That's 500 million. Yeah,
that's 500 million.
He still got.
The nigga still got 250 million. The congregation only got 500,000.
Yeah, in the building.
He still got 250 M's.
Here's my thing too about the way they pay these mega pastors and what we're and how contradictory what you preach is to what you live. If you guys are going to live by the Bible and that the way of life, ultimately the way of life that you believe to salvation is by adhering to the Bible so strongly and so strictly, then you're not even following the disciples. The disciples who followed Jesus, and St. John the Baptist himself took no riches, per the Bible, per what it says in the Bible, took no riches, didn't even have a home, spent his later years wandering the earth simply speaking the gospel of Jesus. He didn't say, oh, I live in a castle and I'm now this and I'm now that. No, that didn't happen. He was the main apostle. You see what I'm saying? So if you are truly doing the Lord's work and you live by this book, the way the book tells you to do so, how come you're not living like St. John?
Bro,
explain that to me. How come your congregation is living like St. John, but you not? And if you are the shepherd of your flock, how come your flock is dying?
But we just talking right now. What we're doing, we making little small points.
Yeah,
we kind of broke off the train that we were on.
Little bit.
Listen, let's get back on this train. Let's move with the present day shit now.
Yeah,
okay?
present day shit.
You get on Twitter, social media, and all this shit like that. They say the main issue in our society that's keeping black people down is white supremacy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep it a buck with each other for a second, shall we, folks?
Just for a minute, just for a moment, please.
White supremacy is not the fucking problem. Let's be honest with each other. Most white people in this country, and again, what we said most was, all it has to do is be a majority. It could be a 1% majority, but 49, 51, 51 means most. Okay? Because that's what that is. That's math.
Majority.
I'm not arguing that shit. So anyone who's no, fuck that. We're not arguing math here, okay?
Yeah. People will go percentages though. Why they're gonna want it?
Right.
What
percentage are you talking about? It doesn't matter. Okay.
Majority.
The most of you know what? Fuck it. 51% of white people. Okay. Let's just do that. Let's just give it to Nick. 51% of white people aren't racist. They don't think in that sense of, you know what I'm saying, I hate you or because you are what you are.
And everything I do has to be oppressive to you.
White people,
you know what I'm saying?
Most white, the 51% of white people, even though it's probably more, right? But we're just going to give it to y'all because y'all, you know, people, motherfuckers on, especially on social media, what you mean most? So 51% of white people, okay? Yeah, again, even though that number is fucking probably higher than that.
Definitely.
Most motherfuckers aren't racist. What they are is complacent. It's not that they're racist. It's that most people live their lives according to their lives. So they go about their day in reference to what their family needs.
Yeah, and not giving a fuck about what you got going on.
And it's not that they don't give a fuck in a malicious intent. It's just that, bro, I have more shit. I got shit going on over here too. Why do I need to then give a fuck about what's going on over there? And that's a different conversation.
Absolutely.
Outside of the religious thing, right? Because that's a conversation like, if you had something going on and it was genuinely something that was fucked up, I would take the time to give a fuck about that particular thing.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And another thing on top of that is race becomes uncomfortable to talk about, right? But again, I don't look at people with color blindness. When I see a white man, I see a white man. But I can also see a father. I can also see whatever he does for a living. I can also see whatever that person does, or what you know, husband.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, marijuana enthusiast, motherfucking gardener, whatever the fuck.
Whatever that person is.
With the context of him being a white man. It just makes him what he is, right? Mm-hmm. You are a white male. That's right. A part of what you are.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's
just like
fact of
I'm
world.
A father.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a graphic artist. I'm a business owner. Mm-hmm. I'm a podcaster.
Yep.
I'm a husband.
Yep.
I'm a brother.
A waffle enthusiast.
I fucking love waffles. And
I'm just saying, it's so much.
Also
it's so complex.
A black man. That's correct. A part of who I am. Mm-hmm. And it should not be. It shouldn't be taken out of. It shouldn't be taken away from me that I'm a black man, right? So, well, I don't see color. No, you should see my color, but you shouldn't see it uncomfortably.
You get what I'm saying? It shouldn't be the only thing that you see.
You shouldn't see it uncomfortably.
Yeah.
Right. So, white supremacy is not the fucking issue with our society. It's the fact that we don't get things contextually anymore, right? But there are some issues in our community that are real, right? The police fuck with us at higher rates, a disproportionate rate, right?
Disproportionate, ladies and gentlemen.
They fuck with us at a disproportionate rate.
Mm-hmm.
Poverty hits us at a disproportionate rate.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Economically, we're fucked at a disproportionate rate.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is, if you see all this shit happening with our community after all these years, and you're saying that we're not the direct cause of all that pain and suffering, which for the most part I agree with. I don't think we're the direct cause of our economic struggles. Mm-hmm. I don't think we're the direct cause of our housing struggles. I don't think we're the direct cause of our, institutional struggles, educational struggles. I don't think we're the direct cause of it. I think we play a part in that shit, but I don't think that we're the direct cause because, again, if the government is supposed to provide, adequate education, you should get this community should get the same exact education as that community. This community should have the same economic resources that community has. But redlining fucked that up. And redlining is a real thing. We're not going to argue that shit either. We're not fucking arguing that. That's so I'm not saying we're the direct cause in that, right? Mm-hmm. Right. And if you're not saying we're the direct cause in that, right? You're saying the government is the direct cause in that. And there's this entity. Mm-hmm. See, I'm getting there. There's this entity that is fucking with the people, God's people. Where the fuck is he? Why has he not come to save you from this tyranny? If he is your father, if you are his people, where the fuck is he? First nigga said, he coming back in 2,000 years, which is just a random generated number. If you think about when he was born, right? He was born 0 AD. You know what I'm saying? What does 2,000 years mean in the Bible? Where did they come up with the number 2,000? Like astrology wise, numerology wise, religion wise, anything. What does 2,000 stand for? What happened 2,000 years prior to Jesus being born? Like literally on 2,000, what was significant that was like, okay, in 2,000 years, he's going to be born? Like what is the significance of that? And I haven't read the whole Bible. I know what I was taught when I went to church, right? Which is pretty much nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I actually purchased a Bible. Not because I'm trying to get back into it, because I don't believe in any of these fucking religions. But I purchased a Bible. I'm going to get a Torah. I'm going to get the text for Hinduism. I'm going to get the text for Buddhism. I'm going to read all of it because what'll happen is we're having these conversations right now. Yeah. And these so-called theology scholars on social media, They'll try to, well, Jesus in Psalms, and they'll probably do that to us now after this episode.
Oh, they definitely will. They definitely gonna do that.
So what I want to do is I want to be able to come back and say, remember you said here this.
Yeah.
Well, contextually, this is what that means.
Yeah. Yeah,
so all I'm asking is
crazy without context.
Yeah, it's insane without context. It sounds good, and that's the point of it. It's supposed to sound good so that you can be disarmed to the point where you would give your fucking money to the people who are the head of the religion, because that's what it's made for.
And just not even talking about redlining, but I remember what you said about. How come these things, how come God doesn't have where's God at when we need his presence in our community? I was just thinking about what we said earlier about how there are so many churches in our community, and right smack dab in the middle of our neighborhoods, the black community is one of the only communities, if you're not living in the ghetto or the inner city, who live next to a church. I'm thinking about where we live now here in Florida, and I'm thinking about the subdivisions over here off of Blandon. I'm thinking about those. There's no churches in sight. They're at the beginning of the cul-de-sac, at the beginning of the neighborhood, and there's only one. And you drive around the neighborhood, and that's it. In our neighborhood, it was one on every single church.
Yeah,
every single corner. It was a church on every corner. So if you're talking about that, right? If you got so many houses of worship in a consolidated area, you would think that's a strong, holy connection. You would think that your God would be looking out for the area that's doing his ministry so much justice.
It's not on Band. It's on Chimney Lakes.
Yeah, Chimney Lakes. You're right. Yeah, on Chimney Lakes.
That John is the only church in a 10-mile radius. So every community, every subdivision. So we live in a cul-de-sac. We live. You know what I'm saying? We live in the suburbs. Everybody in this area goes to that church.
That's crazy, y'all.
Everybody. It's like 15,000 people who live over here. Because it's a bunch of we're out in the boonies. So it's all these little subdivisions, all these little communities. You know what I'm saying? They all go to that church. They all go to that same church. Maybe not 15,000 people, but it's like, we live. It's predominantly white out here.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's predominantly white out here.
And I'm like, and when I first saw that, I was like, that's a good question. That's the only one I saw. That one and the one that T and K go to. But that's further down. That's near the Publix.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that's further down, right? But still, y'all, we just named 2 churches in 10-mile radius that if you go to any inner city, walk through Philadelphia, walk through Chicago, walk through the inner city of New York, walk through Savannah, Georgia, where they planned it that way. They planned it, literally laid the city out where every single city block had to have a parcel of land at the corner reserved for church.
It's
come on, y'all.
Like I said, bro,
you can't tell me I don't sound like a system of control.
If white supremacy is the issue, if the tyranny of our government is the actual issue, which again, the white supremacy thing I'm opposed to. That's not the issue. You know what I'm saying? If white supremacy was the issue, there would never have been a black president, even though he was handpicked to be president, to be real with you. There would be, you know what I'm saying? No, you wouldn't, if white supremacy was the issue, you wouldn't pay athletes the way you pay them, especially black athletes, where motherfuckers like Michael Jordan, LeBron James Tiger Woods could be worth $1 billion. Like that wouldn't happen because white supremacy wouldn't allow that, right?
Listen,
you wouldn't be able to have you wouldn't be able to have an Oprah. You wouldn't be able to have the dude that was that owned BET and sold it for $1 billion. You wouldn't be able to have niggas like that. Because white supremacy, right? Like this.
Listen,
this wouldn't happen.
If white supremacy was real, we would have been eradicated during Jim Crow.
No. White supremacy is real.
No. If it was,
it's not prevalent today. It's not. We're not prevalent. It's not the main evil today.
Yeah,
it might be prevalent, but it's not. It's not to a point where it used to be like in Jim Crow and slavery. It was white supremacy was. It was
prevalent. It was the everyday thing. Yeah, it was the everyday thing.
The niggas be like, back in 1920, be like, hey, listen, this white supremacy fucking with us. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
They called them sundown towns. Don't be caught back here around sundown.
Yes, it is.
You're going to die.
White supremacy is fucking
you are going
with
to die.
100 years later, 2020, white supremacy wasn't fucking with us. Coronavirus was. I wish a nigga would come to me and say, man, this motherfucker white supremacy got me staying in the house. Bitch, Corona, the government saying that COVID is fucking us up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not one of them motherfuckers that's like, oh, I don't believe in COVID. And I'm not one of them motherfuckers that's like, well, fuck COVID. You know what I'm saying? Well, COVID is the ultimate, like, you should be vaccinated. Listen, be smart, read everything up on it. The government lies. You know what I'm saying? And and listen, I've seen the Fauci emails. I know I'm getting off the subject for a little bit. I've seen the Fauci emails. Listen, whether he did or didn't, the government lies to you. That much is for sure. The fucking government lies to you, bro.
And listen, it's so funny because even during coronavirus, they proved that they lied to y'all. Remember we had it's an urban legend of Area 51. No, they have confirmed that the American government has indeed interacted with aliens.
No, they said they ain't say interacted. They said that there's been unidentified flying objects that, you know, there's nothing on Earth that there's no country or government on Earth that came from. That's what they said. Not that they interacted like with an alien. No.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. I just want to. That's what they did. No, nigga. Okay. I'll tell you when their aircrafts film and chase these, because there's one video where the dude is actually trying to follow this unidentified flying object. Right? Is that not an interaction? Because he's like, I'm going to go attempt to. You know what I'm saying? Is that not an interaction?
You have to interact means that there's a communication of some sort. There's a
really?
Yeah, there's something that like if I interact with this computer, right? I press the A key, and then that's me. The message is I want A to work, and then the button happens.
I got you. So listen. So I understand that, but if a video was playing, we getting off topic. Yeah. But if a video was playing on this, you wouldn't be interacting with that computer.
Yeah, my eyes are the computer's sending me a message. Here's the video. Yeah. My eyes are getting the message and saying, "Okay, I accept that," and then I'm here. So yeah, it's an interaction. Okay, but if a fucking object is just flying through the air, you're just flying behind it. You're not interacting with it. Are you interacting with a driver when you're driving behind them? See what I'm saying?
Technically, you are. Well, you know what? That, again, that's a whole other topic. Another topic, y'all. So anyway, continue. Go ahead, continue.
So all I'm saying is
we get on tangent. Boy, we be what we talk.
But anyway, but shit, you know what? To tie it into this motherfucker, you might as well be talking to aliens. When you talk to Jesus, you might as well be talking to aliens. You're interacting with aliens at that point, according to Tyson.
Hey man, look. You
don't know what the fuck what is going on. You don't know.
Nano.
You don't know. And so all I'm saying is, so my point was, if we're going through all this shit, if this is tyranny that is weighing down the black community to the point where we cannot prosper in this fucking world, where is he?
Yeah.
He was supposed to come in 2000, right?
Yeah.
It's 21 years. That was 21 years ago.
Yeah.
21. They say we living in the end days, according to church people. But if we always living in the end days, why they still asking us for money? You get what I'm saying? What's the money for if we living in the end days? What is that going to do for us?
Here's my whole thing. Why does Jesus or God need my money when the book says that when I die, I will be met with a mansion of my choice and a feast beyond my eyes and streets paved with gold? It sounds like he got all the money in the world. That's right, because he does.
This is what they keep telling y'all. This is what they keep telling y'all, right? We living in the end times.
What do you need my dimes for?
We living in the end times because, and you know we living in the end times because of all these wars and shit going on.
Yeah.
Nigga, it's been wars since the beginning of time.
Yeah. Yeah. Since the beginning of civilization. That's not since the beginning of time.
Time of civilization.
There you go.
There's been wars since the beginning of human civilization. So wouldn't all times be the end times?
per the book. This is per the blueprint. The blueprint said it.
So 2,000 years in the future, you know it'll be end times because the world will be in a fucked up place, and you know it'll be wars and it'll be desolation and da. Tell me when it hasn't been that. Just like when Trump was like, "Hey, make America great again," and niggas was like, "When?" Okay, let's use that same logic to the world. Right. When has the world been truly a great place where there's been no poverty, no plagues, no war, no desolation,
no famine,
none of that. Every single human being on the face of this earth could prosper
and live their intended truth or whatever.
Without strife, without like
any kind.
External strife.
Any kind whatsoever.
Just anybody go to our social media and just
drop it in.
This is the time. This is when it happens.
Yeah, drop it in.
That's when it happens.
We need dates. Okay, give it to us. This time. Yeah.
So all I'm saying to the black community is, again, it's okay if that shit makes you a better person. I'm fine with it. I want you to be a good person, man. I don't want you to be a piece of shit.
That's what everybody wants.
I want you to be a good person.
That's what everybody wants.
I want you to be a good person. But if you're not a good person and you keep throwing God in people's face, you don't get it contextually. You're not going to get it contextually. You use that shit as a means to block or to obstruct people's contextual view of what you really are. The same way the pastors, the government, and other people on this planet use the religion.
That's right.
Because their main objective of the religion is money, because that's what the religion was built on. Built on getting money out of motherfuckers. And if control, you don't understand that the religion is a system of control, you're fucked up. And I'm not saying that the church is the biggest threat in the black community. What I will say is it's a bigger threat than white supremacy. That's what I will say. And I'll say that shit loudly. The church is a bigger threat in the black community than white supremacy. Because if we can get from slavery to here under the hood of white supremacy, then white supremacy ain't hitting on shit.
That's true. That's true.
Think about what I just said for a second. If we could be in bondage, 3/5 of a nigga.
Not even a whole person.
Not even a whole nigga. 3/5 of one.
You got cut off at the kneecaps.
If we can get from that point to here, under the hood of white supremacy, nigga, I'm not scared of white supremacy. The fuck? You think I'm afraid of white supremacy? If I could get out the hood and get to where I'm at now, and white supremacy supposed to be the biggest threat, the fuck? What are you talking about?
I said,
nigga, do you know where I was at, nigga? Do you know where I was when I was 14 years old?
Telling you.
If I could get from that, and not only just the environment, but the mindset, the state of being. If I could get from there to here, under the hood, under the control of white supremacy, then white supremacy ain't shit.
It's not a threat. I'm waking up every morning singing the Reading Rainbow. I can do anything.
And all I'm saying to you is,
take a look.
If niggas would stop, because this is why I say the church is a bigger threat to the black community than white supremacy. Niggas will get complacent where they are because they'll say all this shit good is coming to me because I believe in my Lord and Savior, and my Lord and Savior got my best interest at heart. But according to that book, your Lord and Savior says to you that you will get everything you want, all the gold, eternal life, the riches, everything will come to you once you get to heaven. You gotta fucking die before you get any real wealth.
Or any real peace. Fuck wealth.
Any real peace.
People live a hard life. Life is hard, bro.
But niggas like Kenneth Copeland can be worth $750 million.
It sound like he getting It sound like he getting everything that he
right now.
He getting all his
on this plane of existence.
It sound like he getting his spiritual riches on earth. And I'm trying to figure out how you tap in on that. How you tap in on that? Like, cause I mean, does he know something I don't know? Because like we said earlier in the podcast, that book is supposed to be transcendent for all. It's supposed to be equal for everyone. So if he can get his $750 million in riches while he's here, how come I can't?
How come you have to die for yours?
Tell me now. Tell me. Come now.
How come it's always, as long as I put my life in the hands of Jesus, everything will be fine, except for you keep saying to everyone else that white supremacy is fucking you up? Why is Jesus allowing white supremacy to fuck you up? Mm-hmm. Why is Jesus allowing white supremacy to control your life? Why is Jesus allowing white supremacy to fuck the community up? Why is Jesus allowing white supremacy to keep niggas locked up at the disproportionate rates that niggas are locked up at?
Hey, listen.
Why is white supremacy having police officers kill brothers and sisters in the street who are unarmed, regardless if they committed a crime or not?
Here we go. Now every one of those questions you just asked, let's interchange white supremacy with how come the black church hasn't taken action against these things? How come the black church is allowing cops, if they're so powerful, and we know that they can enact real change because Dr. King showed that they could. So how come they're continuously having black people be killed in the streets? How come they're continuously letting people be redlined? How come they're continuously allowing this? How come the black church is not unifying us and upholding us as we uphold it? Answer that question. And I don't give a damn what nobody says. It's supposed to be that way. That is what, in a purest form, in a perfect world, like Walgreens say, if that was what the church was really here for, that's what they'd be doing.
This one thing encapsulates the mental anguish that the black church has put on the black community.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that is being done is in His glory,
or it's supposed to be done.
Everything that's being done is in His glory.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the case, then white supremacy is in His glory. Slavery was in His glory. Jim Crow was in His glory. So segregation was in His glory.
If it's supposed to happen, then why are you outraged when it happens?
The war on drugs was in His glory. You know what I'm saying?
That don't sit right with you. That don't make you think.
Mass incarceration is in His glory.
That don't make you think for 1 second when a serial killer or some rapist kills one of your family members, and because you're so religious, that's what God wanted. God wanted her to be raped and be killed. God wanted him to be shot 16 times. That was God's plan. I'm gonna leave it in God's hands.
You're gonna leave it in God's hands?
So God wants you to go through all that pain, that strife, that mental anguish. God wants you to cry yourself to sleep at night because He loves you?
What?
Get the fuck out of here.
God wants you to go through this shit so that your life somehow will have more meaning.
What?
After you die.
What?
God wants you to go through this pain so that you become closer to Him.
What?
Come on, man.
Even though motherfuckers in the same, not even the same world, the same city, live better than you.
What?
And aren't as good as people as you.
What?
And it's only because you're doing all this only because you put your faith in Jesus Christ.
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant.
That's not ignorant. That's not ignorant. I'm telling you, that's not ignorant. That is not ignorance.
Oh,
that is the fucking truth. Think about this shit for a minute. It's motherfuckers in your same city.
That's crazy.
Who live better than you.
Mm-hmm.
Who have more access to the riches of this world.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not better people than you.
No. They're shitty
but
people.
You are so fixated on the proposed riches that Jesus and His Father are going to give you after you die without actually knowing what those motherfucking riches are.
Boy, that is a mind fuck and a half. Listen, I need you to be the best version of yourself right now so that later on you can get the shit I think you're supposed to have.
What?
Wait. That shit is hilarious. You gotta be good now so that when you die, you think, the things that you think you're gonna get, you're gonna make sure you get them.
What?
You listen. I will give you everything. I promise. After you die.
What?
After you die.
Well, what do I get right now?
It's not a damn thing.
Nothing. You get nothing. You get this motherfucking Bible and a 2-bedroom apartment with no motherfucking central air and heating in it.
Gee,
you get $500 a month in income,
and you got to struggle.
You get 4 kids.
Yep. But while you do that, don't you dare disrespect my name. While you do all that, don't you dare think of not paying me money.
And you better get on your fucking knees.
Don't you
every
dare do that.
Single night.
Don't you
and
dare
praise me. I mean, my son. My son, not me.
Don't you
my
dare
son,
do that. Don't you dare not call out mine. Don't you
my
dare.
Son.
Don't you
dare.
Get
on your fucking knees and you praise.
Jesus Christ.
That's right. Get down there. Get down there and praise him.
You gotta be kidding me.
Listen, man.
You gotta be kidding me. There's problems, ladies and gentlemen. There's problems in the black church. If you're first just now hearing about all these issues in the black church because you're either disconnected or you may just not be black. You may have never experienced this before. There's definitely some issues. And like we said earlier in the podcast, man, we know it. They're glaring issues. Some of them have even become social jokes. We know that there are issues, but it continues. The process continues because the system continues because the system of control is just ingrained. It's too good. It's working too well. And it's a well-oiled machine.
If you read, right, and that's what another problem niggas don't do is read. You have to read more than and when people read the Bible, most motherfuckers who go to church, they only read the parts that the pastor tell them to read.
Correct.
Of course, he's telling you to read the same thing over and over again.
Because it sounds good. Repetition, man.
And then he tell you to read that same thing over and over again. And just spinning in a different context, but it's all really meaning the same thing. So it's repetitive. So it's only certain parts of the Bible that he really wants you to fixate on. You know what I'm saying? He don't want you to fixate on the whole book, just certain parts of it. You don't get the full context of the story. They do this shit in Sunday school. They start y'all niggas very, very young. Listen what I'm telling y'all, man. I've been baptized. It's not like I didn't go through the motherfucking
I got baptized
through the
twice.
bullshit.
I've been baptized twice.
The rhetoric, all that shit. I've been through it. I've been through it. I just realized when I got older and I started going around the world and seeing shit, and actually being in these places where the Bible called out, this is the fucking religious, this is the Holy Land right here. I've been to Babylon. When I went there though, I had an army uniform on with a weapon and armor on and shit. A fucking vest on, a helmet, all that shit. I didn't feel any motherfucking like none of that shit. I didn't feel anything.
You didn't feel more protected by Jesus?
Didn't feel nope.
You didn't feel more protected? No?
Didn't feel covered or nothing like that.
Did you feel closer to God at that time?
Nope.
No?
And what they'll tell you is, well, because you ain't got no good relationship with Jesus. No, it's because Jesus is a figment of your imagination. Okay? Because if I had anyone that I have a good relationship with on this plane of existence, if I have a good relationship with someone and I needed them, they'd be there.
Plus, when I get to them or when I'm around them, I feel better. I feel different. I feel good.
They uplift me. And since you are made in his image, shouldn't he have those same qualities?
Shouldn't he have those same properties? Lay it on me, please.
Shouldn't he, if you're made in his image?
That's together. That's us together.
Shouldn't he have those properties as well? When you get in contact with someone you give a fuck about and you have a personal relationship with that human being and it's a good relationship, that person makes you feel better when you're around them.
That's right.
If you needed that person would, if they like, listen, I'm doing something very, very important right now, but right after that shit, I'm with you. Or if they feel like you're of utmost importance, they'll drop everything they fucking doing and get to you.
Yep.
So why does God and his son tell you through a book that you are the most important thing and then don't show up for you?
And on that note, as we said, we are going to ruffle some motherfucking feathers today. If you were triggered, that's because you may not be living in your truth. Or you may not want to look at it from a different point of view. That means that you're rigid, and you might need to expand. You might need to expand your mental a little bit.
I want to leave niggas with this right here. This white supremacy shit, it's a power, right? Mm-hmm. Power, evil. You use that shit. People use that shit to gain power over someone, right? Because they think they have power over someone, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with the government. The government uses legislation, other type of tactics, war tactics, you know what I'm saying, to gain leverage over certain things and aspects of our global, our global life, our global economy, our global system, our everything, because that's a tactic of control, and control is power, right?
Yep.
Okay. Those things are like fucked up and evil, right? But God is supposed to be all good, right? And he's supposed to be this loving, caring God. Mm-hmm. If he saw that in his world, right? Wouldn't he come and rescue you from the evil?
As he should, right?
See, stop thinking like that right there.
My protector.
Okay. Stop thinking like that right there.
All right.
I said that to say this. Why, if God is all good, why is there evil in the first fucking place? Where did that come from? Because he created all this, right? And he's all good, right? Loving, good God. Where did that evil come from? Well, the devil. Didn't he create the devil? Wasn't the devil Lucifer? Wasn't Lucifer an angel prior to his descent, his fall?
Yep.
So he created Lucifer, right?
Well, and if you want to be real about it, per the book that you guys preach anymore, he was the first before Jesus was.
Yeah, I'm just saying he was the apple of God's eye before Jesus was. That's not it. But that's not here nor there though. It's not here nor there. Right? Where did the evil come from? Because he's a fallen angel. So him falling made him evil?
Nope.
Because again, he was made good, right? He's an angel.
Correct.
Right? He was made from a good thing, right? That's
by the greatest thing.
By the greatest thing.
Yeah, he was
the greatest good.
Yeah, by the greatest good. So,
right? Where did evil come? Where did evil come from? Here's what I want to leave y'all with, okay? And I just want niggas to think. Either God is not all powerful, or he ain't all good. And that's fact.
Ooh, we got the praise on that.
He either ain't all powerful, or he ain't all good.
Preach it, brother.
Because if he created the depths of hell, and the depths of hell are evil, then that creation came from an evil place. Couldn't have come from a good place, obviously, right? Nothing good creates anything bad, and nothing bad creates anything good.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Or maybe things are a little more grayer than what you think, and it ain't all black and white. Maybe there's some additional context that you're missing. Maybe that additional context would give you some very good information to start actually looking at this shit from the perspective you're supposed to be looking at it from.
I ain't lying. Talk to him. Preach to him. Let him know, man.
Maybe stop looking at all this shit like children and start looking at this shit like adults. Stop damning your children to these systems of control. If God is all good, then he is not all powerful. Because there's a power called evil. If you saying he made that power, if God made everything, then evil would be included in that, which would then mean he ain't all good. You can't have both.
Can't have both.
Because both would be an oxymoron. It would create a logic loop. And we're not going to sit here on this podcast and give y'all information that is illogical. Shit might be wrong sometimes. Shit, I could be wrong. Anybody can be wrong. But it's not going to be illogical.
Preach.
That's not what we're going to do here.
Preach.
Not on this motherfucking platform.
Preach.
It's going to be logical. It's either going to be logically correct or logically incorrect. But it won't be illogical. It won't be just some shit out of nowhere for everyone to just be done with. No, we're not going to do that.
Negative Ghost Rider.
So be mindful of the entities you try to replicate your life by. Be mindful of the information you ingest. Be mindful on how you disseminate that information. Because I'm telling you right now, that's the shit that's really fucking us up. How we disseminate information. Don't be fooled. And don't take us out of context. I didn't say white supremacy didn't exist.
Nope.
I didn't say it wasn't any racism. I didn't say it ain't some motherfuckers out here who really hate just because that's what their being is.
Oh yes.
I'm saying that's not the real problems now, is it?
Yes, I did. Yes, God.
I'm saying that's not the real problem.
No,
right?
Ain't. Speak on it.
White supremacy ain't the real problem.
No, you know it ain't.
Hell, the church ain't the real problem.
Hold on.
If
Pastor.
you've been listening,
hold on, Pastor. You know it.
We
know
said,
yeah.
The church is just another system of control. Just like the government, has placed systems of control over our everyday lives.
That's right, Pastor.
So wouldn't the problem be these systems of control?
There you go.
And maybe we need to start breaking down the systems of control.
That's right, yes.
Because to me, the systems of control are the real problem.
That's right. Amen.
If you have free will, how are you then being controlled?
That's right. Amen.
Against your free will.
Amen, Pastor.
And that's how we're going to end this episode today. Ladies and gentlemen of the congregation.
Hey, God.
And I just want y'all to know that I actually do love you motherfuckers.
We do. We
Not
do.
on some, I love you because you're my children. I love you because we're people.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
People.
And that's what it really need to get to.
And we got to come together, man.
Because if we don't do that, man, this shit means nothing.
Yeah.
We're just going to get deeper and deeper into these systems of control. Where motherfuckers think white supremacy is the problem.
That's it.
Where motherfuckers think, racism is the end all be all problem in the world. And if we get rid of racism, then the world just becomes this fucking utopia. If we get rid of white supremacy, this world becomes a fucking utopia. Like,
no, that's ridiculous. It's not just one single issue, guys, right? We got to continue to manage life, because once we get rid of, in your idea, once we get rid of one problem, a new one is definitely going to arise, right? So you think that getting rid of racism is going to be the only thing? No, we're still going to have poverty. We're still going to have classism. We're still going to have sexism. You got to get rid of
have wars.
You still have wars. You know what I'm saying? Come on, it's not just one problem. It's multiple
racism
problems.
don't end wars.
Doesn't.
Getting rid of racism don't end wars.
Yeah.
Getting rid of white supremacy wouldn't end a war.
Yeah. Definitely won't do that.
So I theoretically anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's just and this is a long episode too. We had to give it to y'all like this though.
We had to
get this to y'all.
We had to, man.
It is not our like first mind to have long episodes like this. But with everything going on, you know what I mean, we seeing little shit here and there. And just living our personal lives, we realized like this is something that needs to be pushed a little more frequently than what anyone talks about it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Especially in
the
our
church
community.
And that's not just black church. The church period gets this cloak of invulnerability, or this, you know what I'm saying? This
the cloak of silence. This free pass.
They get free passes. They get even on a government level, they get passes. They don't have to pay taxes, none of this shit.
Yeah.
So that's where you get motherfuckers who
feel like they could just do whatever.
Are worth $750 million because, you know, what do you have to give to the community? But the community gives the church everything.
Absolutely. So when is this relationship going to be more symbiotic than anything else? You see what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, man, listen.
The relationship right now is parasitic.
That's damn sure is. Think, man. Just think about it.
We keep telling y'all motherfuckers, like the good Dr. Eddie Griffin said.
Tell them.
Motherfucking thinking is not illegal yet. But I promise you, with the system of control of church, system of control of education, and the system of control of how they want to control your voice and your speech.
Yeah.
I mean, it's evident on social media. I'm telling you, someone's going to pass a law or try to or write in a law, a bill. It's probably not going to be passed. But I promise you, in the next 5 years, somebody's gonna be like, "Hey, we should moderate thinking."
Motherfuckers be like, "Look,
we should moderate thinking."
Yeah. Yep, you should moderate thinking. So if you're in school,
I'm telling you,
if you're in class and you're not thinking about what the teacher's exactly teaching you, you've now broken the law. You got to get out of this class. You know how stupid that motherfuckers can't even daydream no more.
They're doing it now on social media.
True.
Where you say something, if you just put a thought out there, it could be anything. It might be some shit that may be like abrasive or whatever, make people feel uncomfortable. Whatever you say, you know what I'm saying? If it doesn't conform to what society thinks now, they ban you off social media.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what they did to President Trump. I'm not saying he shouldn't have been banned off social media. He should have been banned a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of those people who like, you know what I'm saying, a proponent against free speech, because I believe in free speech. Believe whatever you should say whatever you want to, but there are consequences to saying your shit. You know what I'm saying? There's consequences to everything. So you can say whatever you want to, but those words may invoke action, and you have to again, because your words are powerful, especially when you're in powerful positions in our society. So you should be, if you're going to say it, you should accept what comes after that.
Correct.
Because you not only have the power to say it, you also understand the responsibility of that power. You know what I'm saying? That's just a different way of being Uncle Ben. That's all that is.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Uncle Ben was the realest nigga. But what I'm saying to you is that, you know, shit like Trump being banned, again, for most on a tangent, for most motherfuckers, he did that on it wasn't people are arguing that social media should be a public utility. Okay, fine, bet, but it's not right now. It's a privately owned business.
That's right.
And if they want to, you know what I'm saying?
Wait, public utility, I got to start paying Facebook like I pay for water and gas and lights and shit?
Well, you think about like how the telephone came into where it's being, right? You can communicate with motherfuckers, this and that. But if it's not public utility, right, then companies can just say, well, we want to give this utility to these people, and that's it. That's why you make it a public utility, so everyone has the opportunity to get it. If Twitter wanted to, Twitter could be like, listen, everybody who has a conservative mindset, you know, any right-leaning person, get the fuck off my platform. What you gonna do about it? Can't do anything about that.
That's true.
If you make it a public utility, then they can't do shit like that. See what I'm saying? That's why people have the mindset of making it a public utility.
For me, that also thinks that, you know, that's just another system of control. The government trying to monetize on that shit, man. And just, I understand with the privately owned and being able to say who can and who cannot.
Well, the government doesn't monetize off the phone services. You know what I'm saying? The government, the government monetization is tax, right?
That's what I'm saying. So as a public utility, what if I don't, like me, I have Facebook, but I'm not on Facebook. So if I don't use it, I'm still got to pay for it?
No. You wouldn't pay for it, right? You don't need a phone, right, to live.
You don't,
right? You don't need a phone to live, but you do need a phone to exist in our society.
Got you. So what I'm asking is, if they turn the social medias into public utilities.
You say social media is like an old person. Social media platforms, but go ahead.
Okay, social medias?
The social media.
You look in the face tubes?
Yeah, you say that shit like a fucking old person.
My bad.
Yeah, go ahead.
So if they're going to do it, right, make these into utilities, people like myself who aren't very active on social media, would we pay an extra tax just like everyone else?
I mean, everybody would pay taxes how they normally pay taxes, right? You know,
then the platforms will lose money.
You don't pay extra taxes for fucking like cable services, right? Internet ISPs, you don't pay extra taxes for that. You get what I'm saying? You either want the service or you don't.
Okay.
Or it is a public utility. You know what I'm saying? You don't pay extra taxes for phone services. You don't pay extra taxes for AT&T to be AT&T. You know what I'm saying? You either want AT&T or you don't want it. You can choose to go to Sprint. But the phone service is a public utility because you need to give everyone the option to have a phone.
But don't you already have the option to have a Twitter or not right now?
You do have the option to get off social media, right? You have the option to get off social media.
Yeah.
What public utility means is the company who is trying to provide that service
can't deny you the service. Got you. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Got you. I got you.
They can't deny the service.
I needed more understanding because the way you said it at first, I was like, well, nigga, that don't make no sense.
And what they did to Trump was deny him the service, right? And so people want it to become a public utility. And maybe it's getting to that point.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, they're a private company and they can ban anyone the motherfucker they want to according to their TOS's terms of service. He broke the terms of service. In fact, the nigga broke the terms of service 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
He should have been banned then.
Yep.
Now, there's motherfuckers who break the terms of service also.
And public utilities too.
Not in public utilities, but on Twitter as well. And they're on the left and they don't get banned. So there is a, hypocrisy with Twitter and other social media platforms.
Definitely, we get that. There's a bias to everything. Yeah.
Right? All I'm saying is those motherfuckers should be banned too, but Trump should have definitely been banned off of Twitter because he broke terms of service.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But he should be able to say whatever the fuck he wants to.
Because we're in the land of the free.
But again,
and the First Amendment.
That's not the full context. Because motherfuckers be like, well, it's free speech. He says whatever he wants to. It's free speech. They're fucking going against the First Amendment. Right. That's the one part. That's the half of it.
Yes.
The other half is having the knowledge and accepting the responsibility of the words that you say.
Mm-hmm.
And every consequence that comes with it. Mm-hmm. That's all. You have the right to say what you want to, and you can exercise that right whenever you want to. Part one. Part two is with the power of that right, there's a responsibility of accountability and accepting all consequences that may come from you exercising that right.
Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's put this in a different context, right, or layman's terms. When in a courtroom, you're under a certain term of service. You have a certain procedure to follow.
Right.
You can't cuss the judge out, and you can say whatever you want to say in court. They're not gonna stop you from saying that. But if you cuss that judge out, and that judge is like, "Look, man, your ass going to jail for contempt of court because the judge told you to shut the hell up," you're going to jail.
Right.
That's the consequence of the action.
Let me ask you a real question though.
Yeah.
How the fuck we get on this again?
I have no idea, man. I love it though. We're gonna have to show up, man. Listen, we love y'all. Listen, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter.
Nigga, we get on so many tangents.
Love it though.
Listen, but look, y'all remember what the fuck this conversation was really about? It's about this motherfucking these churches and the stranglehold they have on our fucking black communities. That's real shit.
It's real shit.
Again, like Dr. Eddie Griffin said, you motherfucking keep thinking it's not illegal yet. They're going to try to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you. Mm-hmm. That's where it came from, because we was talking about motherfuckers making legislation.
There you go.
To moderate thinking and shit like that. And then it got on. Then it was they do that already on social media without legislation because they're public. They're not public utilities. They're private.
You explain that to me.
Yep.
All right. See, we strung it together at the end. We strung it together at the end.
The tangent did not. The cord was still there. It was enough rope to pull it back.
That's it. We followed the breadcrumbs.
We was in the woods, but we was deep in the woods. But we had the rope around it. We brought it back in.
There you go.
Yeah. So listen, man, we gonna keep doing this shit. Y'all already know the vibes, man. Social media platforms, y'all go and follow us and shit, man. We appreciate all the love we got so far.
Absolutely.
On Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook.
Yep.
All the other platforms is at the 224 podcast. It's at THE 224
POD CAST.
Thank you, my brother, for finishing that for me. It's the same exact thing
everywhere
on all
the
podcasting platforms.
That's
Apple, Spotify, iHeart.
That's right.
Pandora. Google.
That's right.
Tune in.
We're there.
Podbean. Podcast Addict. SoundCloud.
Yes.
Everywhere. at the 224 podcast. So
224.
Put that shit in. Find us, follow us, have conversations with us, man. I will not shy away from any conversation had by anybody. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just one, be respectful.
That's right.
Right? And cursing is to me is not disrespectful.
Yeah, I don't know
if it's in its proper context.
That's right. People,
you know what I'm saying?
We cuss.
Two,
so.
Keep it logical.
That's right.
If you just shooting talking points, I got no time for that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Go back to the bubble where you're comfortable in, and go and spew those talking points to the people who accept that shit. Don't do that here. Be logical. Get ready to have dialogue. And then 3, you know what I'm saying? Just again, respect the actual dialogue. You know what I'm saying? If you don't respect the conversation and it seems like you're just trolling, man, I like trolling sometimes, but just, you know, fuck out my face. That's all.
Pull up.
Yeah. No, yeah. Don't tell people to pull up, because motherfuckers these motherfuckers out here will actually pull up on you. Not in a sense like a threatening pull up, just to pull up to be like a trolling shit, and then that'll get you motherfuckers fucked up, because you know what I'm saying.
Please don't do that.
Save me the trouble
from going.
You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Don't do that.
Help me help you.
Yeah, help me help you. Don't do that. I don't want to go to jail. I definitely don't want to send you to the hospital /morgue/grave. Don't do stupid shit like that, man. Just, you know, I'm human too. You know what I mean? I got my own family, got my own personal life. Y'all keep that shit there. You know, everything that can be said between us can be said either on social media or on our, you know, if we go live or something, it could be, you know, whatever. We could talk, we could chop it up then, man. But, you know, just don't come in my social life, my personal life, if I don't want you there. Like, that's all.
Yeah, let's just talk about it.
That's it. So with that being said, man, we're gonna wrap this shit. We about to close out.
Yeah.
We you know, we're gonna start. We've actually slowed down to like 1 or 2 podcasts a week. We're gonna go back to doing this shit every day.
Yeah, we gotta get back to that. We're gonna
go back to doing this shit every day.
Putting the people on the front burner.
Yeah, so we're gonna go back to doing this shit every day. We just gonna crank this shit out. So yeah, start looking forward to us going back to the daily podcast. So yeah, with that being said, man, I'm Jay.
I'm Tyson.
This is the 224 podcast. We love y'all. We'll see y'all motherfuckers later. Peace.